big difference. Look at us.
Which skin is this? The fake one?
Okay, we come back here. With the ball. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Wait. Okay. Okay, perfect. Use your arm. Use your arm. Use your arm. Use your arm. Left, stop. Left, stop. Perfect. Okay. Okay. We take your time. Yes, good control. Yes. Be ready. That's it. Turn. Well done. Again. Well done inside there. Inside. More eyes there. Aki, don't do it. Don't do it. Right, that's it, boy. If you need to, take two, but don't lose the ball. Well done. Well done. Nadia.
The 8-man squad list for the African Cup of Nations in Morocco. Here is 54 Football X, and here is our squad assessment of the Eric Chels led side, so to say. We begin from the goalkeepers. Unfortunately, there would be no Maduka Okoye, Stanley Wabali, Francis Uzor, and Amas Obasoje. Francis Uzor was part of the last World Cup team for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Now he's back in the fold. And there is also Amas Obasoje. However, injury worries remains for the number one choice in Stanley Wabali. Many are looking at the fact if he would indeed be 100% fit for the African Cup of Nations happening in Morocco. And the Super Eagles will be in Fez in a group that consists of also Tanzania, who will be their first game on the 23rd of December. Moving straight to the defenders, and that is where the problem really lies for the Super Eagles. There would be no starting captain. William Troost-Ekong, who has announced his retirement. Also, there would be no Olaino due to injury. We've got Calvin Bassey, Zaidu Sanusi, Semilo Guajayi, Bruno Yemechi, Igbo Ogu, Chidozie Awaziem, Bright Osayi, Samuel, and a new one, Ryan Alebioshu. Unfortunately for the Super Eagles, we would not be having at the service of the big man, Benjamin Frederick, the 20-year-old who caught the eye in the games against the Gabon and also DR Congo. He got injured and he will be out for 2 months due to injury from his training with his club side. So these defenders are the defenders we're taking to the AFCON. For obvious reasons, the senior man in this defense is Calvin Bassey. Many are looking at him to see what he can pop up with. And the new man also, Ryan Alebioshu of Blackburn Rovers. So it remains to be seen how Eric Chel would set up his side, especially in the heart of the defense. Would he go a 3-5-2 formation or his usual 4-4-2 diamonds? Speaking of diamonds in the midfield, midfielders are Wilfred Idedi, Franco Yeka, Fisayo Dele Bashir, Mohamed Hassan, Alex Iwobi, Ebenezer Akinsomiro, Rafael Onyedika, and Tochukwu Nnadi. This midfield has 3 new names in Mohamed Usman, Ebenezer Akinsomiro, and Tochukwu Nnadi. Tochukwu Nnadi plays for Vosges right there in Belgium. For Tochukwu Nnadi, he has played 15 matches this season. He's got some couple of yellow cards and is being touted as a very, very reliable deep line midfielder who can actually win the balls and win duels very well for the Super Eagles. While for Ebenezer Akinsomiro, a player of Inter Milan, won the Coppa Italia with Inter Milan before going on loan to Sampdoria. Now he's also on loan with Pisa. He's one of the interesting names in the midfield for Pisa this particular season. He was said to be part of the team that would be going for the World Cup qualifiers, that did go for the World Cup qualifiers, but unfortunately he got injured due to a shoulder injury. Now he is in the team. Well, there's a 31-year-old Mohamed Usman. Mohamed Usman was part of that 2016 squad that went to the Olympics and got a bronze medal. And interestingly, in that squad, there was Trist Ekong. Trist Ekong is now retired, while Mohamed Usman is now in the team. Interesting choice of midfield options for Eric Chell's side. Now for the forwards, this is where everyone wants to pay attention to. Ademola Lookman seems to be back in form in the last couple of games. There is also Victor Osimhen, not forgetting Ako Adam, Samuel Chukwueze, Cyril Dezes, and also Moses Simon. Chidera Ejuke, who scored in the playoffs of the World Cup, while Paul Onuachu, who has been bagging goals for his club in Turkey, is also included. And also Salim Fago, this player scored 5 goals in his last 15 matches for his team, and as it stands now, is a name that so many people have mentioned to be able to help Victor Osimhen out in the number 9 role. We all know very well that the likes of Chidera Ejuke will play from the flanks, and also Samuel Chukwueze and Ademola Lookman. So these are the 28 players in which Eric Chell has trusted to bring Nigeria's 4th African Cup of Nations title. Would these players be able to do it without the likes of William Troost Ekong, without the likes of Olaino? William Troost Ekong was instrumental for us at the last AFCON, where we got to the final. Your guess is as good as mine. So at 54 Football X, we're asking you, what do you make of this 28-man squad list of the Super Eagles? Do you think this list can actually win us our 4th African title, or at least get to the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations in Morocco? Drop your comment in the comment section. Mike the Pundit here for 54 Football X.
There's the reason he scored. Victor trying to be to victory. An early goal for the Super Eagles. And they are trying to show how much they want this success. Trying to have excess. The fans are celebrating. Nigeria won. Benin Republic nil.
Fantastic goal by Victor Osimhen.
There could be that second goal now with his cross. Victor Osimhen! He's gotten his brace. He could enjoy a warm embrace. The Super Eagles have doubled their lead. But would it be enough in this race for the World Cup?
A free kick.
Taken by the Super Eagles now.
Whoa!
And Victor Osimhen has gotten a hat-trick. 3 times he has scored for Nigeria. Goal. Moses Simon from the left-hand side can square through from that territory. Goes past his marker. Will cross the ball in. And this could be like goal! Goal! The Super Eagles for the 4th.
Let's go!
And just maybe the dream of getting to the playoffs has come alive. Well, the players know that they have lost the top spots, but finishing second could still ensure that they keep dreaming.
I missed quite a lot, but like I think I missed the boys. To be honest, I missed the boys. I missed the vibe in the camp, you know, because we've been quite a lot together, and yeah, I think the most noticeable thing I missed is the boys, being around the boys and us being together in all types of challenges. I do once in a while. We do chat, we check up on each other, yeah. So like, you know, I have my own colleagues that I'm quite closer to, but in general, I do reach out to the boys. I was filled with joy, you know, a joy that I cannot actually express to you right now. But yeah, it was relieving to know that I'm coming back again to be with the boys and to have that same feeling we used to have before, and to represent Nigeria, which is the most important thing. I think anybody that is called up into the national team is ready. You know, if you're not ready, you won't be called up. I think the technical crews, the scouts, they know what they're doing, and for them to call somebody up, they know that the person is ready to represent the country. So basically, I am ready, and if the time comes and the country needs me, I will be ready. I think I was with Amas twice in the national team before I stopped coming. Yeah, so glad we were close. I'm close to everybody. And Stanley is my brother, you know. He's my brother. When he came, we were all together. We helped each other. I helped him. He helped me. So Stanley is a good guy, which I have a very close relationship with him. Maybe the people outside don't see it, but personally with him, I'm good with him, and also with Amas.
Wow. Is going to punish this one, and it does that really, really well. It's the Sevilla forward to Akko Adams. There's Eagles of Nigeria, the lead in Rabat. It's Nigeria 1, Gabon 0. And Gabon have equalized. The Panthers have equalized. It's disappointment for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Beautiful sort of play, opening up the attack. Wilfred Ndidi driving forward. A fantastic opportunity, give to the one-time shots, and that's a goal. Benjamin Frederick.
And Benjamin Fredericks.
Finally.
Gets the ball to Victor Osimhen. And finally Victor Osimhen. It's the bullseye. It's 3-1. He's going to get a yellow card for that one. I doubt that was unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Takes off his shirt. And it's not a goal that wins this camp. That's a Ronaldo moment in the Champions League in 2014, isn't it? Another goal, this time around from Victor Osimhen again. Lovely work, lovely finish from the Galatasaray man. He's finally found his range, but he's done that in extra time. It's Nigeria 4, Gabon 1.
And just give the ball. Okay, change.
Big difference. Very big difference. Look at that. Which skin is this? The fake one?
Okay, we come back here. With the ball. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Wait. Okay. Okay, perfect. Use your arm. Use your arm. Use your arm. Use your arm. Left, stop. Left, stop. Perfect. Okay. Okay. We take your time. Yes, good control. Yes. Look where is Mona. Look where is Mona. He decides. Yes. Be ready. That's it. Turn. Well done. Again. Well done inside there. Inside. Mona is there. That's it, boy. If you need two, take two, but don't lose the ball. Well done. Well done.
Osimhen 1v1. Osimhen scores! Let's get it. There's a reason he scored. Victor trying to lead Nigeria to victory. An early goal for the Super Eagles. And they are trying to show how much they want this success. Trying to have excess. The fans are celebrating. Nigeria won. Benin Republic 0.
Fantastic goal by Victor Osimhen.
Well, it could be that second goal now with his cross. Victor Osimhen! He's gotten his brace. He could enjoy a warm embrace. The Super Eagles have doubled their lead. But would it be enough in this race for the World Cup?
Free kick.
Taken by the Super Eagles now.
Whoa!
And Victor Osimhen has gotten a hat-trick. 3 times he has scored for Nigeria. Goal. Moses Simon from the left-hand side can square through from that territory. Goes past his marker. Will cross the ball in. And this could be that goal! The Super Eagles for the fourth. And just maybe the dream of getting to the playoffs has come alive. Well, the players know that they have lost the top spot, but finishing second could still ensure that they keep dreaming.
I missed quite a lot. But like, I think I missed the boys. To be honest, I missed the boys. I missed the vibe in the camp, you know, because we've been quite a lot together. And yeah, I think the most noticeable thing I missed is the boys, being around the boys and us being together in all types of challenges. I do once in a while. We do chat, we check up on each other. Yeah. So like, you know, I have my own colleagues that I'm quite closer to. But in general, I do reach out to the boys. I was filled with joy, you know. A joy that I cannot actually express to you right now, but yeah, it was relieving to know that I'm coming back again to be with the boys and to have that same feeling we used to have before, and to represent Nigeria, which is the most important thing. I think anybody that is called up into the national team is ready. You know, if you're not ready, you won't be called up. I think the technical crews, the scouts, they know what they're doing, and for them to call somebody up, they know that the person is ready to represent the country. So basically, I am ready, and if the time comes and the country needs me, I will be ready. I think I was with Amas twice in the national team before I stopped coming. Yeah, so he's a good lad. We were close. I'm close to everybody, and Stanley is my brother. You know, he's my brother. When he came, we were all together. We helped each other. I helped him. He helped me. So Stanley is a good guy, which I have a very close relationship with him. Maybe the people outside don't see it, but personally with him, I'm good with him, and also with Amas.
What a mistake. Akko Adams is going to punish this one, and it does that really, really well. It's the Sevilla forward to Akko Adams that has given the Super Eagles of Nigeria the lead in Rabat. It's Nigeria 1, Gabon 0. And Gabon have equalized. The Panthers have equalized. It's disappointment for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Beautiful string of play, opening up the attack. Wilfred Ndidi driving forward. A fantastic opportunity, get you the one-time shot, and that's a goal. Benjamin Frederick.
And Benjamin Fredericks.
Finally.
Gets the ball to Victor Osimhen. And finally Victor Osimhen.
Finally.
It's the bullseye. It's 3-1. He's going to get a yellow card for that one. I doubt that was unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Takes off his shirt. And it's not a goal that wins this camp. That's a Ronaldo moment in the Champions League in 2014, isn't it? Another goal, this time around from Victor Osimhen again. Lovely work, lovely finish from the Galatasaray man. He's finally found his ranger, but he's done that in extra time. It's Nigeria 4, Gabon 1.
You come early.
I've never heard that one before.
And just give the ball. Okay, change. Behind. Okay, and come back. Here. Okay, two good. Guys, communicate. Let's go. Okay. The ball. I give the ball. Move and ice the ball. What's the ball? Two. Bola close. 1, 2, and 1 touch. It's the last one. It's the last one. Okay, I'm out.
Very big difference. Look at that. Which skin is this? The fake one?
Okay, we come back here. With the ball.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect. Wait. Okay. Okay, perfect. Use your arm. Use your arm. Use your arm. Use your arm. Left, stop. Left, stop. Perfect. Okay. Okay. We take your time. Yes, good control. Yes. Be ready. That's it. Turn. Well done. Again. Well done inside. Inside. More eyes there. Eki. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's it, Bola. If you need to, take 2, but don't lose the ball. Well done. Well done. Nadia.
Osimhen 1v1. Osimhen scores!
Let's get
There's a reason he scored. Victor trying to lead Nigeria to victory. An early goal for the Super Eagles. And they are trying to show how much they want this success. Trying to have access. The fans are celebrating. Nigeria won. Benin Republic 0.
Fantastic goal by Victor Osimhen.
Well, it could be that second goal now with his cross. Victor Osimhen! He's gotten his brace. He could enjoy a warm embrace. The Super Eagles have doubled their lead. But would it be enough in this race for the World Cup?
A free kick.
Taken by the Super Eagles now.
Whoa!
And Victor Osimhen has gotten a hat-trick. 3 times he has scored for Nigeria. Goal. Moses Simon from the left-hand side can square through from that territory. Goes past his marker. Will cross the ball in. And this could be that goal! The Super Eagles for the 4th. And just maybe the dream of getting to the playoffs has come alive. Well, the players know that they have lost the top spot, but finishing second, could still ensure that they keep dreaming.
I missed quite a lot. But like, I think I missed the boys. To be honest, I missed the boys. I missed the vibe in the camp, you know, because we've been quite a lot together. And yeah, I think the most noticeable thing I missed is the boys, being around the boys and us being together in all types of challenges. I do once in a while. We do chat, we check up on each other. Yeah. So like, you know, I have my own colleagues that I'm quite closer to. But in general, I do reach out to the boys. I was filled with joy, you know, a joy that I cannot actually express to you right now. But yeah, it was relieving to know that I'm coming back again to be with the boys and to have that same feeling we used to have before, and to represent Nigeria, which is the most important thing. I think anybody that is called up into the national team is ready. You know, if you're not ready, you won't be called up. I think the technical crews, the scouts, they know what they're doing, and for them to call somebody up, they know that the person is ready to represent the country. So basically, I am ready, and if the time comes and the country needs me, I will be ready. I think I was with Amas twice in the national team before I stopped coming. Yeah, so he's a good lad. We were close. I'm close to everybody. And Stanley is my brother, you know. He's my brother. When he came, we were all together. We helped each other. I helped him. He helped me. So Stanley is a good guy, which I have a very close relationship with him. Maybe the people outside don't see it, but personally with him, I'm good with him, and also with Amas.
What a mistake. Akko Adams is going to punish this one, and he does that really, really well. It's the Sevilla forward, Akko Adams, that has given the Super Eagles of Nigeria the lead in Rabat. It's Nigeria 1, Gabon 0. And Gabon have equalized. The Panthers have equalized. It's disappointment for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Beautiful sort of play, opening up the attack. Wilfred Ndidi driving forward. A fantastic opportunity, give Chidera one-time shots, and that's a goal. Benjamin Frederick.
And Benjamin Fredericks.
Finally.
Gets the ball to Victor Osimhen. And finally Victor Osimhen.
Finally.
It's the bullseye. It's 3-1.
Finally.
He's going to get a yellow card for that one. I doubt that was unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Takes off his shirt. And it's not a goal that wins this camp. That's a Ronaldo moment in the Champions League in 2014, isn't it? Another goal, this time around from Victor Osimhen again. Lovely work, lovely finish from the Galatasaray man. He's finally found his ranger, but he's done that in extra time. It's Nigeria 4, Gabon 1.
You come early. And just give the ball. Okay, change. Behind. Okay, and come back. Here. Okay, two groups. Guys, communicate. Let's go. Okay. The ball. I give the ball. Move and ice the ball. What's the ball? Two. Bola close. 1, 2, and 1 touch. It's the last one. That's the last one. Okay,
big difference. Look at us. Which skin is this? The fake one.
Okay, we come back here. With the ball.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect. Wait. Okay. Okay, perfect. Use your arm. Use your arm. Use your arm. Use your arm. Left, stop. Left, stop. Perfect. Okay. Okay. We take your time. Yes, good control. Yes. Look where is Mona. Look where is Mona. He's inside. You're playing inside. Yes. Be ready. That's it. Turn. Well done. Again. Well done inside there. Inside. Mola is there. Eki. Don't do it. Don't do it. Mola is there. That's it, Mola. If you need to, take two, but don't lose the ball. Well done. Well done. Nadia, look.
Osimhen 1v1. Osimhen scores!
Let's get
There's
it.
the reason he scored. Victor, trying to lead Nigeria to victory.
I missed quite a lot. But like I think I missed the boys. To be honest, I missed the boys. I missed the vibe in the camp, you know, because we've been quite a lot together. And yeah, I think the most noticeable thing I missed is the boys, being around the boys and us being together in all types of challenges. I do once in a while. We do chat, we check up on each other. Yeah. So like you know, I have my own colleagues that I'm quite closer to. But in general, I do reach out to the boys. I was filled with joy, you know, a joy that I cannot actually express to you right now. But yeah, it was relieving to know that I'm coming back again to be with the boys and to have that same feeling we used to have before and to represent Nigeria, which is the most important thing. I think anybody that is
might have fielded a player or a couple of players who might have been deemed ineligible. I mean, what have you made of that situation?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes there's a saying in Pigeon Palace that says sometimes you got to spoil for some other people, make it better for some people.
Yes, sir.
It's crazy, Olale. Looking at how far we've come in this qualifiers, how we've sneaked in through the back door, and now again it's like we might just get a chance to sneak in through the window. Olale, it will be very, very incredible to see how this pan out. I don't know the state of things at this point in time, whether FIFA will really entertain this inquiry.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to take it up seriously before the Intercontinental playoffs, but a part of me, Olawale, I won't even lie.
What a mistake.
Wow.
I'm just going to punish this one.
They didn't mess up true.
We understand that FIFA will be investigating, but there's nothing solid on that yet. But I'm sure that before the intercontinental playoffs in Mexico next year, March, we will have an idea of where we stand as far as that situation is concerned. But let's get back to the Africa Cup of Nations. Kicks off on Sunday, and we can tell you that Morocco Comoros, the opening game, is live right here on vivxsports as well. Don't miss that for anything. That's the curtain raiser for the 35th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations. But the Super Eagles are not in action until next week, Tuesday, when they take on the Taifa Stars of Tanzania in the opening game of Group D. But for the Super Eagles, ahead of this friendly that kicks off in about 23 minutes from now, Nigerians have been divided on the squad. The 28-man squad announced by the NFF and its manager, Eric Chell. There's been a couple of misses. Victor Boniface, Aroko Dare. I think the biggest one had to be the goalkeeper, Matuka Okoye, not making the cut. What have you made of this notable absences?
Well, I think for me, it's really disturbing in a way because when you look at these players who are missing, they've been part of the squad right from the get-go, especially the qualifiers. The one that pains me more is the fact that Tolu Arokudare is not in the squad. You would have expected him. He's a young lad. He's still trying to build his career in England. And we've seen his enthusiasm when it comes to the Super Eagles. You'd have expected maybe he be in this 28 match.
Even when he broke through, we thought we had something.
Yeah, we had
excitement.
Yeah, from moving away from Victor Osimhen if he's not around, and having somebody like Victor Osimhen on the field of play for Tolu Arokudare. Apart from that, also Wale, you have to look at Maduka Okoye. And the whole story surrounding his non-inclusion is a big worry. Yeah, it's a big worry for me. Because when your best legs who are playing in their heydays, who are playing in their active years, are not willing to commit themselves to the Super Eagles of Nigeria, to the national team, it tells a story that we are not really getting. And that story is the fact that maybe the Super Eagles shirt is no longer alluring to some of these abroad-born stars, or maybe some of these stars that we are trying to lure to come and play for the Super Eagles. Look at Nathan Taylor. At the point in time, he was saying he wasn't going to come for the Super Eagles.
Yeah.
Hold up. Really, it's disturbing in a way for me that some of these very good players are no longer interested. That interest to play for Nigeria is not there again. And I hope it won't be the same for some of these our local players too, when they know that, hey, if I thought if I ever enter camp, then I see them, they will still choose. So I just have this feeling that it's no longer about merit sometimes for some of these call-ups that we get. Usman Mohammed, for crying out loud, I don't know what he's done for Tiberia, Ironi Tiberia in the second division in Israel. I don't know what he's done, Lawali. I'm still trying to fathom.
The last thing he did that was notable was 7 years ago.
Yes,
against Atletico.
Funny enough, I put it on my page that this is the only thing I remember. Usman Mohammed, player for FC Taraba. If you remember him back then.
Yeah.
Well, in recent times, you wonder what's the criteria for inviting Usman Mohammed?
Yeah.
What's the criteria for inviting Salim? Go. What's the criteria?
So Chukunati.
Well, Ali, it's crazy. You have a Chrysanthus Uche who is playing for Crystal Palace now, who is beginning to score goals. You'd have expected that maybe we have that creative play apart from Alex Iwobi Olale. There is no creative player in that squad. I don't know. Every other person it looks like a DM. Even this Akin Samiro we are hailing and shouting and screaming about. He's a central defensive midfielder. For crying out loud, we don't have a creative midfielder in this squad, and it's worrying for me that in the future, our best legs, we might not get them to come and play for the Super Eagles again or to play for the...
I think the worry for me most times is that, anytime our selectors have always had a chance to select the best of the best, we've not been able to do that. The national team should be for the best players.
You would have expected that you are looking at, some of the very best legs in Europe right now, and you are calling them, not calling some obscure names.
There's this guy in Austria who came from Enyimba, Onwaiwu.
Yeah.
I think that guy's national team material. How the selectors have not been able to look at Onwaiwu and what he does. And Onwaiwu does it regularly, week in, week out for Wolfsberger in Austria.
Olale, to even add salt to injury, we hear sometimes the technical director, the coach himself, Eric Chell, travel to Europe to watch some of these players.
So what are they watching?
What are they watching, Olale?
We're watching. Anyways, we will find out. Looks like the name you mentioned, Ebenezaki Somero gets the starts for the Super Eagles tonight. So we'll get to the lineup just in a moment. But let's also quickly talk about the retirement of the international retirement of the captain of the team. That's William Troost Ekong on the eve of the tournament. What did you make of that as well?
Well, I think it's bad timing for William Troost-Ekong. I would have expected him to at least still be the
Some
leader.
said it was a case of him jumping before he was pushed.
He wasn't going to be pushed. I think he was still going to make the squad.
Oh, you thought he was going to make the squad?
There was no way Eric Chell would have dropped him from the 24-man squad. There was no way it's going to happen. There was no way that was going to happen.
He was starting already under Eric Chell.
But then again, we know that he's the leader of the team. He's the man who is in charge. He's the captain of the team. I don't think Eric Chell would have disgraced him out by not picking him for this AFCON after naming him in his 54-man provisional squad. Well, having said all of that, I think William Troost-Ekong, like you said, maybe he had to just jump before he was pushed. Maybe he saw the handwriting on the wall. We saw it at that playoffs in Morocco where we heard stories. I don't know how true they are, but we heard stories that he was supposed to come on for that DR Congo game.
Yeah.
But then he refused to come on. And maybe that caused the friction. Also, the fact that trying to persuade some of the players to just go back to train, but he was hell-bent and saying, no, we're going to do it our way. It's either you pay us or we don't go to this training. And sometimes you look at all these shenanigans that happened before that qualifiers or playoffs, and you just wonder, maybe he looked at himself and say, hey, maybe it's about time I just left this group. I've done enough. I've gone to a World Cup. I've gone to 2 Nations Cup. I've been MVP. Just give this team a chance.
All right, but we understand that there's a new captain now, and that's Wilfred Ndidi.
Yeah,
and he'll be assisted by Simon Iwobi and also Victor Osimhen. But you said deservedly so.
Yeah, deservedly.
You thought it was automatic that Ndidi became the leader of the team.
Yeah, because
now that Troost-Ekong is gone.
Yeah, because he was the assistant captain.
But the longest serving member in that team is not Ndidi, actually. It's Moses Simon.
Moses Simon, yeah, but Moses Simon doesn't start most of our games sometimes. So he's a regular starter for Nigeria. So I think logically you go for somebody who starts game regularly. I remember a story about Kanu Nwankwo Okocha and also Joseph Yobo. Remember when they were about leaving? It was next. Joseph Yobo was the next experienced player, and definitely had to give it to him. And so I think it's logical that we use longevity and also a regular playing time. Does he get starting shirt? I think that's what matters most. And for right now, you have to say our player Wilfred Ndidi definitely deserves it. He's somebody who has gone through the ranks also. He's gone through the under 17,
even
though he didn't make the under 17 squad that year, but the under 20 he's been there. He just couldn't go to the Olympics, I think, with the likes of Mikel Obi on the Samson yesterday. But then again, he's shown commitment to the Super Eagles. The only thing that I'm just feeling he's very unlucky for is the fact that he's not been able to get a national team goal for all the caps he's had for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
That's big, though. I mean, can't whatever scored at the AFCON.
Yeah, but he scored for Nigeria. He scored for Nigeria.
Let's go back to that defensive department. There's no Troost-Ekong, and the breakout star of 2025 in the national team, Benjamin Fredericks, is also missing because of injury. He's set to return in January for his football club. I mean, how do we reject that defensive department? Don't you think that could be our Achilles heel at the AFCON? Then it's a bit worrying that a player who just broke through to the national team this year has already become Nigeria's most important player that we feel that we are not safe enough. Or do you think there's an overreaction? Do you think that Fredericks' absence is not a big miss for the Super Eagles?
Well, I don't think it's a big miss.
Really?
Sense. Yeah, I don't think so because you still have Semi Ajayi in there, very experienced player. You have Calvin Bassey in there who can play central defense. Very good, experienced players. I've seen Igo Obu. I saw him at that friendly in London against Jamaica and also against Ghana. I think he was stable a little bit. I think with time he might just get his hands on.
And Igo Obu is actually an Eric Chell project. Remember?
Definitely. Even though I had my doubts too when he was invited, but he's shown that he can be a person we can rely on. And talking about Benjamin Frederick and also Troost-Ekong not being in there, I think for Benjamin Frederick, we didn't give him the chance, but he showed when he was given the opportunity to play for the Super Eagles that he's capable to mount that position. I think one thing I am very confident is the fact that some of these defenders are very good enough. I think we have experience and we have a blend of experience and youth in this defensive formation. The only worry I have is the fact that it's about the blend. How do you blend these defensive players? Semi Ajayi, what if he gets injured? Who Pairs, Calvin Bassey.
What are the options?
What are the options that we'll be having? Who do they have an understanding? Can we see that seamless understanding between the central defenders? And what if Eric Chell wants to change to a 3-man at the back? Let's not forget we also have Chidozie Awaziem.
Yeah, there's Awaziem there.
In there.
Who's quietly having a good season.
Yeah, he's having a very good
in
season.
France, yeah.
And the sweet thing about Chidozie Awaziem is the fact that he can always play from even the right wing back. And that's the sweet thing about Chidozie Awaziem. So we have enough of experience. We have a bit of youth in that squad. But I just want that blend of understanding between the central defenders. If you're going to play 3-man at the back, if you're going to play 2 central defenders, there has to be a perfect understanding between the 2 players or the 3 players who will be playing manning that defense.
Right. I also mentioned that Ola, I know, will be missing the tournaments as well. It looked like he won't be recovering on time from that injury. He suffered also national team duty against South Africa in the World Cup qualifiers. All right, don't forget you can be a part of the conversation as well on vivxsports, and let's quickly put it on the screen how you can be a part of this watch along. We'd love to hear from you, your thoughts on the Super Eagles as they get ready for the Africa Cup of Nations. Don't forget the slogan is Niger for the win. And remember that the one before this was let's do it again. No,
let's do it again.
I mean, Ivory Coast, we almost did it, right?
Yeah, we almost
just couldn't do it. So those are the numbers on your screen. Just scroll us up and make sure you subscribe to our channel as well, vivxsports, and you can follow us on all our social media platforms for more interesting updates. Egypt-Nigeria kicks off in about 13 minutes from now at the Cairo International Stadium. But just going back to more on the Super Eagles with the lineup, let's talk about Egypt for a bit. Looks like Mo Salah, Omar Mamouche won't be a part of tonight's game. They just landed in Cairo today.
Yeah.
But what are your expectations from the Pharaohs? I saw Opta and the supercomputers' top 5 favorites for the AFCON. No prizes for guessing. Number 1 is the host themselves, Morocco. But number 2, to me, interestingly, it's not Senegal. It's Egypt. Why so? They haven't won this tournament since 2010.
Yeah, I think they're playing in their locality in quotes now.
North Africa.
The North African region of Africa. You have a feeling that they might just do it, being that the weather clement enough for them. Even though the last time they hosted, they couldn't go as far as possible also. But then you remember it was the hot season for the North Africans at that point in time. It was played, I think, June, July that year. And I think it was very hot. So for the Egyptian side, I think they have been a team they've been showing that semblance of the Egypt of old, getting as far as possible. They got to the finals at some point in time, but they're not just consistent. I think for this Egyptian side, you would expect them to play flair football. They play very good football. They play these kind of attractive passes where their players are very skillful. They have flair players who have very good finesse on the ball. And you would expect them to also use counter-attacks and also speed against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But having said all of this, I think the Egyptians will be looking at themselves and saying, hey, it's been a long time coming that we won this Nations Cup. We are kings in terms of this competition, 7-time title holders. Like you mentioned, the last time they won it was way back. And now they have a coach who very experienced.
Osama Hassan,
the man who was
legend of the game.
So many titles for Egypt. So when you talk about passing down the ideas, the experience, the manpower of how he won the titles of old for Egypt, I think he's a perfect man to lead this Egyptian side. And I feel that maybe that's the reason why they're giving them more odds to get to the finals and win this.
An interesting fun fact on Osama Hassan, who is an absolute legend of the game. Although if you tell me to do my Africa 11 of all time, he'll probably find himself on the bench.
Really? Wale?
Yeah, my front three. My front three is Didier Drogba, Samuel Eto'o, and George Weah. If you're going to do like an AFCON all 11, Osama Hassan is going to be there. I'm just saying an all-African, but he's going to be on the bench. In fact, on Osama Hassan, 1998, when the AFCON was hosted in Burkina Faso, I believe it was Burkina Faso, right? Yeah. Egypt did win it, right?
Yeah.
And Osama Hassan was the top scorer in that tournament, although he had to share those honors with South Africa's Benny McCarthy. Is now the coach of the Pharaohs of Egypt. And let's quickly take a look at how the Egyptians line up for tonight's game with 10 minutes to kick off. Let's quickly have that on our screen. And that's it. El Shenawi in goal. There's Hani, Ibrahim, Del Maguid, Fatou, Fatih, Atia, Ashuru, Zizo, Zerber, and Mohamed. Like we told you earlier on, no place for Mo Salah and Mamush Trezeguet also is out. We heard that there's a dental issue he's got, so he's been rested for this one. But expect those three players to play a very key role as far as their AFCON campaign is concerned. So that's how Egypt line up for this friendly at the Cairo International Stadium. Now let's move to the Super Eagles and surprise, in goal, Stanley Nwabali. We've got Bright Osai Samuel. There's Zaidu Senusi, Igor Ogbu, there's Bright Onyeka, Saudele Bashiru, Rafael Onyetika. There's Paul Onuachu starting as well. Chidozie Awaziem, Chidera Ejuke, and Ebenezer Akin Somiro. That's from the top, Timi. Nwabali in goal. Are you surprised? He hasn't played since. I think he played for Nigeria. The last game he played also was for Nigeria because he's not lined up for Chippa United since the World Cup playoffs in Morocco. But again, I feel that Chell wants to assess him personally in a competitive game. And the rest assured that he can rely on someone who has not seen action in a little while ahead of the opening game next week, Tuesday.
Yeah, I think he's trying to test main dual goalkeeper going into the Nations Cup. We've heard stories about his injury. He's not been able to play since the game against DR Congo at the playoffs. And so it's about time we just see if he's really ready to get into the starting 11 for the Super Eagles. Remember, he's our key goalkeeper, apart from Francis Uzoho, who is now coming in for Maduka Okoye. He's the most reliable goalkeeper that we have going into this tournament. And I have this feeling that Eric Chell just wants to make sure that, hey, he's number one, is really fit and ready to go. And let's not forget that I think for the life of me, if he's not fit enough, if he's not having that opportunity to be able to start any game for the Super Eagles in case this injury shows up again, I don't know if they will be able to trust Francis Uzoho. But
you trust Francis Uzoho?
No, Olale, I don't. I don't.
He has 3 clean sheets in the Conference League.
Olale, are we going to go there again now?
Oh, Chelsea won the Conference League.
Really?
We're going to go there, yeah.
Really, Olale?
No,
really?
How can't you trust a guy who has been trusted by a Cypriot side to play in Europe?
Yes, because he's failed us in the past.
Yeah, but that's in the past. That's in the past.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Did Maduka Okoye not fail us at that AFCON in 2021?
Yes, but then we are trying to get him back because
so else
the problem. So we are not trying to get Uzoho back because if we were trying to get Uzoho back, he would have played some of the qualifiers. He wasn't invited for the qualifiers. Any of the qualifiers, the last time Francis Uzoho played for Nigeria was a year ago. Only 1 full year. In fact, more than a year ago, March, I think 2024 was the last time he played for the
But do you realize that right now, that's the most experienced goalkeeper Nigeria has?
Really?
He's gone to the World Cup. Or didn't he go to the World Cup?
Are we talking about experience here? We're talking about how a goalkeeper is.
Experience is part of how good a goalkeeper is to me.
Okay, how well has he done for the Super Eagles? Let's go there now. How well has he done for the Super Eagles that he's not been invited for the Super Eagles for over a year and the Super Eagles have been like,
go say maybe it's a new manager. Francis Uzoho.
I feel I just have this.
Wait, let me even ask another question. If you're left with Uzoho and Amaso Basogi, who's going to start?
None of them.
I'll pick one.
Between the two of them?
Yeah.
I'll go for Amaso Basogi. Because I've seen Francis Uzoho. I've seen him. Remember
in Porto, he played against Manchester United, man of the match.
Olale,
I think last year.
We know Uzoho to play very well for his club, but when it comes to Nigeria, he's always fidgety, he's always shaky, he's not having confidence in goal when he steps onto that post for the Super Eagles. I don't know what happens to him. I don't know if it's psychological, I don't know if it's spiritual, I don't know what it is, but I just have this feeling that I can't trust Francis Uzoho for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
All right, another player we want to focus on as we get closer to kickoff is Paul Onuachu. Interestingly, Onuachu's first and maybe only goal for Nigeria. It's against Egypt, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he scored in the last friendly.
Yeah, it was the friendly. He scored very early. I think it was after 8 seconds or 10 seconds. That was his maybe first game for Nigeria.
Where he scored.
When it was against Egypt in a friendly that was played, I think, in South Nigeria a couple of years ago. Now
it was in Delta State.
It was in Delta State. I think it was Warri or something like that. Yeah, but he gets another chance here. You get a feeling that this is an audition for Paul Onuachu, although I don't think a player like Onuachu needs an audition anymore.
No.
Based on what he's been able to do this season and what he's been able to do previously. He's a big player. He's also gone to a couple of AFCONs. A lot of people don't remember that.
Yeah.
But if we're looking for someone who can be a plan B to Victor Osimhen, tonight against Egypt should be an audition, right?
Yeah, definitely a perfect audition for Paul Onuachu. funnily enough, is somebody I clamored for to be in the Super Eagles squad before that playoffs against DR Congo and also Gabon. I have this feeling, I have this theory, and I always talk about players who are scoring goals, banging in goals in their respective clubs in Europe. Once they are scoring those goals, it gives them confidence coming into the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And that's the confidence I want to see today in Paul Onuachu. I know it can be very tricky when it comes to Nigeria throwing long balls to players in front. We always like to play out from the back and stuff like that. But then again, I think it's about time we start using the ideas that we used for Victor Agali in his heydays when he was playing for the Super Eagles, where the likes of Kanu Wanko know he's the tall man. They know that he's the man who is always in the box. We can always send in crosses and also those second balls that he can always drop for us.
The issue with the team is I'm not sure we're a team that dwells too much on sending crosses, and that's always been the reason I don't think Onuachu has excelled with the national. It's like your Christian Arsenal.
Yeah.
All the guys who are supposed to support him are also trying to get goals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, because when you have the likes of Ademola Lookman who is trying to cut in,
Exactly. Chukwueze, who are dribblers.
Sending in those balls, sometimes it makes it look like as if he's not in the game or he's not even present in the game because he's not getting those balls, he's not getting those crosses in the 18-yard box. But having said all of this, I think Onuachu is a fantastic addition for Nigeria. Apart from the fact that Tolu Arukudare is not there, who also has height, I think Paul Onuachu will compensate that.
Paul Onuachu is the current top scorer in the Turkish Super League. It's goals and Victor Osimhen. Yeah, you can whisper that. It's goals and Victor Osimhen, who also is involved in tonight's game, but will be starting most likely from the bench. And finally, Ebenezer Akintomiro making his unofficial debut, because I think this game is an unofficial friendly.
Yeah,
it doesn't count in the official records. Yeah, sort of the pre-tournament game. But Ebenezer Akintomiro will get to play for Nigeria.
We now have
the story here for me. Yeah, before you take it away, is that young footballers have to realize that dreams do come true.
Yeah,
Ebenezer Akintomiro started out as a barber.
Yeah, what? Really?
Yeah, started out as a barber, joined Beyond Limits Academy, played a couple of times for Remo Stars, joined Inter Milan, on loan at Pisa right now, and is about to play for his fatherland. All in the space of how many years? Probably 2-3 years.
Dreams actually do come true. They come true, Ali. I think I'm happy for him. I haven't heard the story from you. I think it tells a lot about how hardworking he's been in terms of his footballing career. But in all of this, you would expect that playing in this match, I don't want to put much pressure on him, because I don't see him as a starter in this AFCON. I don't see him as somebody who's going to displace Wilfred Ndidi or who's going to...
You want me to take on Ebenezer to someone that's not going to play up to 30 minutes.
I'm not even expecting him to displace any of the midfielders at this point in time. I feel he's a young player we need to nurture for the future. We don't have to pressure him to start starting games, and then all of a sudden maybe he has a bad game. We want to fizzle him out. Remember Alassane Yusuf? He had one fantastic game at the Nations Cup. After then, I think he got injured. He couldn't get back into that starting 11 for the Super Eagles. I don't want to see that for this youngster, because I've seen him play for Pizza. Olale is a hard-working midfielder. He can play from the left side, he can play from the central, he can play from the right side. The sweet thing about him also is his ability to get in front and also assist in terms of goal scoring. That's what I like about him. Akintomiro is a player who I think he has his head not to his neck, more or less very humble. He's trying to look at the bigger picture, and that bigger picture is this is just the beginning. You can go better than this, and I hope that he will not be judged by this game. He will not be judged by this tournament. He's a player for the future. Let's just leave it at that.
All right, so Ebenezer Akintomiro starts for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Kickoff is any time from now. But basically, what I've taken in from this starting 11 is Eric Chell just wants to ensure that this players here can tell him that I deserve to start against Tanzania. Here is not an automatic starter, except for Nwabali.
Yeah, Olale, and the thing I am seeing from Eric Chell is saying that, guys, I picked you. These are the boys I picked for the 24-man squad. Now, this is the first set of players I feel I want to test. To see how they will play in match conditions. I think this is an experiment for Eric Chell to see. More or less.
I think his starters are on the bench.
Yeah, definitely.
The Alex Iwobis, the Ndidis, the Osimhes,
Shemi Ajayi, Calvin Bassi. They're all on the bench. Maybe apart from Zaidu
Sanusi and Nwabali are probably the short.
Maybe Osai Samuel too. You could look at him and say maybe a starter. But then again, every other person there is an audition for you to show why you can or what you can offer the team this tournament going forward.
All right, that's it. So we're going to take a very short break, and when we come back after that game, that break, we'll get into the game. It's Egypt versus Nigeria, as both sides are getting ready for the 35th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations. The live action right on vivxsports is next up after this break.
But like, I think I missed the boys. To be honest, I missed the boys. I missed the vibe in the camp, you know, because we've been quite a lot together. And yeah, I think the most noticeable thing I missed is the boys, being around the boys and us being together in all types of challenges. I do once in a while. We do chat, we check up on each other. Yeah, so like, you know, I have my own colleagues that I'm quite closer to. But in general, I do reach out to the boys. I was filled with joy, you know, a joy that I cannot actually express to you right now. But yeah, it was relieving to know that I'm coming back again to be with the boys and to have that same feeling we used to have before, and to represent Nigeria, which is the most important thing. I think anybody that is called up into the national team is ready. You know, if you're not ready, you won't be called up. I think the technical crews, the scouts, they know what they're doing, and for them to call somebody up, they know that the person is ready to represent the country. So basically, I am ready, and if the time comes and the country needs me, I will be ready. I think I was with Amas twice in the national team before I stopped coming. Yeah, so he's a good lad. We were close. I'm close to everybody, and Stanley is my brother. You know, he's my brother. When he came, we were all together. We helped each other. I helped him. He helped me. So Stanley is a good guy, which I have a very close relationship with him. Maybe the people outside don't see it, but personally with him, I'm good with him, and also with Amas.
Before going on loan to Sampdoria, now is also on loan with Pisa. Is one of the interesting names in the midfield for Pisa this particular season. He was said to be part of the team that would be going for the World Cup qualifiers, that did go for the World Cup qualifiers. But unfortunately, he got injured due to a shoulder injury. Now he is in the team. Well, there's a 31-year-old Mohamed Usman. Mohamed Usman was part of that 2016 squad that went to the Olympics and got a bronze medal. And interestingly, in that squad, there was Trust Ekong. Trust Ekong is now retired, while Mohamed Usman is now in the team. Interesting choice of midfield options for Eric Chele's side. Now for the forwards, this is where everyone wants to pay attention to. Ademola Lookman seems to be back in form in the last couple of games. There is also Victor Osimhen, not forgetting Ako Adam, Samuel Chukwueze, Cyril Dessers, and also Moses Simon. Chidera Ejuke, who scored in the playoffs of the World Cup, while Paul Onuachu, who has been bagging goals for his club in Turkey, is also included. And also Salim Fago, this player scored 5 goals in his last 15 matches for his team, and as it stands now, is a name that so many people have mentioned to be able to help Victor Osimhen out in the number 9 role. We all know very well that the likes of Chidera Ejuke will play from the flanks, and also Samuel Chukwueze and Ademola Lookman. So these are the 28 players in which Eric Chelle has trusted to bring Nigeria's 4th African Cup of Nations title. Would these players be able to do it without the likes of William Troost-Ekong, without the likes of Olaino? William Troost-Ekong was instrumental for us at the last AFCON where we got to the final. Your guess is as good as mine. So at 54 Football X, we're asking you, what do you make of this 28-man squad list of the Super Eagles? Do you think this list can actually win us our 4th African title, or at least get to the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations in Morocco? Drop your comment in the comment section. Mike the Pundit here for 54 Football X. we now have our final 28-man squad list for the 35th African Cup of Nations in Morocco. Here is 54 Football X, and here is our squad assessment of the Eric Chels-led side, so to say. We begin from the goalkeepers. Unfortunately, there would be no Maduka Okoye, Stanley Wabali, Francis Uzor, and Amos Obasoje. Francis Uzor was part of the last World Cup team for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Now he's back in the fold. And there is also Amos Obasoje. However, injury worries remains for the number one choice in Stanley Wabali. Many are looking at the fact if he would indeed be 100% fit for the African Cup of Nations happening in Morocco. And the Super Eagles will be in Fez in a group that consists of also Tanzania, who will be their first game on the 23rd of December. Moving straight to the defenders, and that is where the problem really lies for the Super
So kickoff is upon us at the Cairo International Stadium. It's Egypt versus Nigeria in this tune-up game ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations that kicks off on Sunday right there in Morocco. And just in case you're joining for the first time or just join us right now, let's go through the Super Eagles lineup as Egypt get us underway. Phroahs of Egypt goals, Sinusi. Yeah. Set. And Egypt on the front foot now. But, good interception. From Igor Ogbu right there. Rafael Onyedika trying to get the restart. But looks like the ball was out for a throw initially. Super Eagles playing from the right to the left of our screen right here from my vivxsports studios. Right to Samuel with throwing now. And Super Eagles are draped in their all-white away jersey, while Egypt on their traditional red top and black shorts. Zaidou Sunusi with the ball, but it's a wrong pass as Egypt will try to launch an attack from the right side. Is out for a throw-in. Throw-in to Nigeria. Once again, no Omar Mamouche, no Mo Salah for the Pharaohs of Egypt, who are trying to win their first AFCON in 15 years. It's quite a lot. Timi, between these two sides, there's also 10 AFCON titles in between them.
Yeah, for the Egyptians, you have to say they are ranked as the number one country on the continent based on the number of titles. They've won 7 titles, allowably. At a point in time, it was as if it was their birthright, winning back-to-back competitions at the AFCON. And you have to say it's been one hell of a journey for the Egyptians in terms of the Nations Cup in the new millennium. But for the Super Eagles, it's not been the same story since 2013 when they last won the AFCON, talking about winning it in South Africa. But we've always at least gotten to the semi-finals of this competition. And you have to say, apart from Egypt, who has more titles, I think Nigeria has the most medals in terms of bronze medals.
Okay. I was worried when you said the most medals.
Yeah, the most bronze medals has to go to the Super Eagles.
The golden bronze.
Yeah, the golden bronze. At all. We must collect something. And for me, I feel that Nigeria should at least have gotten as much as 5-6 titles or in their records for the AFCON. But then, it is what it is. Let's hope that this Nations Cup will afford them the opportunity to get one more. Like you said, they are going for the 4th one. Let's do 4.
Nigeria for the win. Wrong pass coming from Chidozie Awaziem, I think, but he regains his composure and gets it back. Ebenezer Kisomere now with the ball. That's the former Remo Stars player. That's a thing of pride for the Nigeria Premier Football League. Now plays at Pisa on loan from Inter. Remember, it was initially a loan to Brescia in Serie B. And unfortunately also had couple of racist abuse towards him.
It's not uncommon.
Yeah, I mean, it's second nature to Italy, so to say. The Super Eagles trying to take things very slow and steady.
It's a test game, Olale, so it's not really competitive. It's just to show the coach what you're capable of and what you're bringing to the table. I think the Super Eagles players understand this. That's why they're taking it softly. They're taking it easy. Even the Egyptians too are taking it very easy.
Yeah.
You don't want to get injured at a pre-tournament friendly match where it's inconsequential. And so everybody's just taking it easy. We expect to see some fights at some point in this game, but hopefully not the one that will cause injuries.
All right, a foul on Egypt. As the referee signals for a free kick. And that was right Onyeka.
Yeah, a tackle from, I think the player Phroahs was already getting away from him. He just had to stretch his last leg to get the ball there.
And Egypt restart play. And, going back to El Shenawi, the goalkeeper. So they try to work the ball from the back. And I mean, I expect to see a lot of on-pitch relationships, chemistry.
Yeah.
It's a squad made up of players from the Egyptian Premier League.
Definitely.
Al Hakli, Pyramids. Not forgetting Zamalek as well. Great ball work from Chidera Ejuke. Unable to connect, but Super Eagles still have the ball. Ejuke coming into this game off a brilliant goal for Sevilla against Real Oviedo in La Liga last weekend. A goal that was probably part of the reason Real Oviedo had to sack their coach. All right, Rafa Edika trying to send them a pass across to Bright Osai, but it's been misread and it's gone out of play. Throwing to Egypt. Both teams just taking it easy. It's also important to me that, I mean, you come through these games like this unscathed, no injuries, especially on the eve of a tournament.
Yeah, you have to be careful in games like this. I remember the last World Cup in Qatar where the former Chelsea striker, I think Christopher, yes. I can't remember his other name right now, but he had an injury just before going to the World Cup for France, and it was a terrible news for him. And it was a friendly match. He was trying to even still show his worth. Talking about the former RB Leipzig striker who also played for Chelsea. But hey, it's a pre-tournament friendly. It's not a serious game, like I said earlier. You have to be very careful how you put in your legs for tackles, like we're seeing now.
Mustafa Mohamed.
Mustafa Mohamed.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful with this kind of tackles and make sure you don't get injured and just thrown out of the team just on the eve of the tournament.
Mustafa Mohamed with a foul, the non-forward. Part of the foreign-based contingent for the Phroahs of Egypt. I'm sure the referee must have had a word with Mustafa. You have to take it easy. Everybody wants to play at the tournament, the AFCON.
Yeah, Christopher Nkunku, that's the name I want.
Oh, that's Nkunku, yeah. The AFCON is Africa's biggest football fiesta. And it's the dream of every African player to always want to be a part of that as well.
Only apart from the fact that it's the biggest flagship football competition in Africa, it's another opportunity for players to sell themselves.
Yeah.
Because, like it or not, some clubs, scouts are also watching out for some of these talents.
Exactly.
Akin Samiro is a living example that will also want to shine. Some players, Raphael Onyedika, we've been hearing all sorts of news about him moving to a bigger club from Club Brugge. So it's another opportunity for these players to show for their talent, show what they can do for their nation, and also move to bigger clubs.
Awazim again with another poor pass, and he's had to make up for that, and it's a foul on Ashur. Looks like that'll be a yellow card. It's an early yellow card for Chidozie Awazim. The second time in the game, his pass has gotten him into trouble.
I think he needs to be aware of his environment, his surroundings when he's trying to pass the ball. I think that was a mistake. He was trying to connect with Paul Onuachu. The ball didn't get to him. I don't know if he saw the player in between him and Paul Onuachu, but hey, you lost the ball, you gave away the ball, and now you're trying to get the ball back, and you had to foul Ashur. I think he has to be very careful here. He's one of our reliable players in terms of experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Squad. And you expect him as a captain also to be cool-headed in his passes, to be cool-headed in his tackle, so that we don't get a red card early on in this game.
Good pass off the ball, but he's gotten into trouble a couple of times, and we're not yet at the 10-minute mark. Free kick to Egypt here. It's a chance for their big players to go forward. The first real set piece of the game. As the referee has a few words, looks like Paul Onuachu and Abdel. Free kick's taken. It's a short one. Let's talk about Osam Abdel Magui having sort of Egypt with what looks like a chance there, but looks like Mustafa Mohamed is unable to control that.
That was the best opportunity the Egyptians could have had in this first half, but I think the first touch of that ball didn't really help his matters in terms of trying to control the ball, but it was good enough that the Nigerians were able to clear that one out from the line. But the offside also the offside flag also helped the Nigerian defense there, because the Egyptian more or less was trying to control the ball. He had space, he had time, but then his first touch let him down.
All right, so the Super Eagles will breathe here because that was offside actually. So it remains goalless as the game enters its first 10 minutes. What have you made of Paul Onuachu?
Well, so far he's been trying to get into the midfield to get the balls. That is not something I know about his game. I think if you watch him at Trabzonspor, he's a player who relies on the passes from midfielders. He's not that player. He's not a Karim Benzema kind of player. He's a Giroud kind of player who likes to get into the box for those long passes, for those passes to come and meet him. But right now, so far, what we've been seeing is him trying to come into the midfield to get those balls, and I think it's been very difficult so far. He's not been getting those balls. But I think overall, the Nigerian side is still trying to settle into their game, trying to play one or two passes between themselves. We've not been seeing those balls into the 18-yard box. But as the game wears on, you expect that the Super Eagles might just change tactics when they need it most. But at this point, for Paul Onuachu, we've not really seen much of him.
All right, there's a feeling that, for me personally, the Egyptians are a bit sharper than the Super Eagles of Nigeria. They've been much more lively. They've pressed better than Nigeria, although look like the Super Eagles have had more off the ball. But the Egyptians have been a bit organized in the way they have defended. They've not looked at threats. Mustafa Mohamed has been leading the press from the front, but the Super Eagles just seem comfortable to have the ball. Don't want to get it into dangerous places. But Igor Ogbu now with the ball. Goes back to Stanley Nwabali. Eyes on Stanley Nwabali as well. We've talked about that pre-game. He hasn't played competitive football since the AFCON or the World Cup CAF playoff in Morocco, in which we lost to DR Congo in that final. Chippa United manager said, you know, if it was left to him, he would have wanted him to miss out on the AFCON. Ibrahim Ani with the ball, the left back or the right back is captain for Egypt. The Al Ahly right back, one player that Egypt will be relying on, experienced campaigner with Egypt. As we see Osam Hassan, and we saw this guy
score goals,
and Osam Hassan.
He was a go-to man for Egypt.
Oh yeah,
just like we have Musala now.
Oh yeah, I mean Osam Hassan, legend. I mean after Osam Hassan, you had the era of the likes of Abutrika, Amr Zaki, Barakat. Then step forward likes of Mo Salah. Nigeria trying to attack, but Mohamed Hani stops that attacking axis. As Egypt will try to go forward here. But Chizozia Wazim, who's already on a yellow card, is alive. Bright side Samuel fouled on that right-hand side. Free kick to Nigeria.
I think, like you mentioned earlier, I think the Egyptians are sharper in terms of their tackles, in terms of their awareness in gameplay. But you have to still give that benefit of doubt to the Super Eagles players, who by yesterday, I think most of them were just trickling into the camp.
Today, some players were still coming into camp today.
Yeah. So it tells they're trying to be very conservative in terms of their energy usage in this first half.
All right, Egypt, long ball forward towards number 25, Zizo. But Stanley Nwabali will take, once again, eyes of Stanley Nwabali on his in-game antics.
I think we need to get more balls in the midfield. I've not been seeing that creative midfield play from the Super Eagles. They've just been launching the ball from defense to attack, trying to connect with Chidera Ejuke and also Paul Onuachu. It's not been working. I expect them to still have some good plays within themselves in that midfield, try to dominate that midfield. But it's
you have to also admit, I mean, these are 11 players who have never played with each other before.
Yeah,
there's no chemistry there.
True, but then there should be progression of football. There should be progression of a play, a pattern, where you want to see how you move the ball from defense to midfield to attack, not just trying to launch long balls and hoping that it connects to Paul Onuachu.
Zaidu Sanusi now with the ball, sends a long one towards Paul Onuachu into the channel. Looks like Onuachu I just have fouled. It's been yellow carded actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been yellow carded by the referee for that foul on the Egyptian defender. It looks like the referee is in no nonsense mood in here. But let's take a look at that again.
Oh,
I'm not too sure that's a yellow card. He's just trying to feel his environment. Yeah.
But then he raising the hand to the mouth.
I think Ibrahim has made much of that.
Yeah, he's made a bit of it. But again, Onuachu shouldn't be raising his hand when the ball has not gotten to him. That's a premeditated foul, more or less, that the referee is looking at. I feel, in a way, when you try to get the ball, at least let the ball come to you first before you start making contact with your player. But if you want to make contact with him, it shouldn't be in the face, where it could be framed as a foul, which has been rightly done by the referee.
So yellow card to Paul Onuachu for a foul on Yasser Ibrahim, the Al-Ahly central defender. And it means that the Super Eagles will have to be on the edge, up front and defensively.
Yep.
Because you have your central defender, the captain on the yellow card, and now you also have your top marksman already on the yellow card.
I think for Paul Onuachu, it's going to be too risky because he might just limit his attacking mode, more or less, the way he wants to attack and also get the ball back. But for Chidozie Awaziem, he doesn't have an option. He needs to show that grit, he needs to show that force in terms of trying to win the ball back.
Right, UK wins the ball in the Egyptian side of the pitch, but chooses to go back to Chidozie Awaziem. The UK hoping for a breakout tournament in Morocco. He's been with the Super Eagles for a year plus now.
Yeah.
He has not been really able to make his mark.
Remember the last Nations Cup he attended in 2019?
Yeah.
I think it was 2022 actually.
2021.
2021, yeah. He was having a very good tournament until I think in the last group game where he had the opportunity to lay pass and give passes to his team, but he chose to go solo. The next game against Tunisia.
And you know how it is, exactly. Egypt on the attack here with a chance to open the scoring here, but good recovery from Bright Osai Samuel, who has to venture into those central defensive areas to snuff out the danger. As Nigeria repossess the ball through Chidozie Awaziem. I know it's a tune-up game, but we've been very, very slow in possession.
Absolutely slow, man.
Lacking, the necessary...
There's no
verve, the speed of thought. Will that be, an instruction from the manager?
It could be. The manager could have told them that, hey, you guys take it easy.
All right, long ball to Paul Onuachu, who holds on the ball very well. Finds Chidera Ejuke. Ejuke to Rafael Ndika, who goes back again to Zaidu Sanusi. Ejuke back on the left-hand side, about to go on that mazy run. He's got two Egyptians. Fantastic ball welcome from Ejuke there. And that's the best from Ejuke when he is flaunting those skills like we did see over the last weekend against Real Oviedo for Sevilla. And how about that? That's some JJ Okocha in there.
Yeah. I think we've always known him to be this creative,
very flamboyant guy,
and very, very skillful on the ball. The only issue we've always had is his final delivery, and I hope that he's been able to work on that. He's been able to perfect that for the Super Eagles' sake, and we'll be having so much to see from Chidera Ejuke, a fantastic player for Sevilla. Let's hope that he translates that to the Super Eagles.
All we saw there was nostalgic. I mean, just reminded me of JJ Okocha. But anyways, that has one Nigeria corner kick. Zaidu Sanusi will take the outswinger from the left side of our screen here, right here. Don't forget, we are bringing you live thoughts from Egypt versus Nigeria. Corner kick comes in, but Egypt deal well with that. Ebenizaki Somiro now with the ball. Lays it to Chidera Ejuke. Ejuke on the plate for Zaidu Sanusi, who sends that cross in. But Super Eagles are able to get there. Somiro launches that one, but it's high and wide. And that's Nigeria's first attempt in this game.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. The build-up play was good enough. The cross from Zaidu Sanusi was enticing into the 18-yard box, but then we didn't have plenty of bodies in there to contest with the Egyptians, who had so much defenders to cover that cross from Zaidu Sanusi. But apart from that, I think maybe Akisomero should have still cooled the ball, still just give that pass.
All right, Nigeria on the attack once again. It's Ebenezer who is pumping forward, but looks like Paul Onuachu has fouled the Egyptian defender, Magrid. Not offside. Yeah, but I think it's just a foul there, and referee signals. But, I mean, we can see Anik Chell now. It's looking a bit animated. What do you think Chell has made of his team after the first 20 minutes of this encounter?
Yeah, he's trying to make sure that they follow through with the tactics, what they've discussed before that game started. I think he's just still trying to instill that idea into the boys' head to know that they need to follow the plan. They need to follow the game arrangement, the game plan that they had. And maybe they're not still doing that yet, because you look at the Super Eagles critically, they've not been dominating in terms of after getting the ball, trying to at least attack the goalpost of the Egyptians. We've not been seeing much of that. It's just been a case of trying to get the balls to the wings and trying to put in crosses, which has not been working.
Egypt on the attack here, but that is stopped. And Nigeria winning a foul through Onyeka, the tank. The Egyptian, number 27, Sabah, lashes out, kicks the ball out. That should get him into the books. And good ball protection from Onyeka, the Brentford man. Sabah is not happy with that decision to call a foul. But I'm not sure that has gotten him a yellow card, as the Super Eagles will restart play. 21 minutes gone at the Cairo International Stadium. It's the tune-up international friendly between Egypt and Nigeria. Both teams getting ready for the Africa Cup of Nations. Don't forget, Nigeria's opening game is next week Tuesday against the Taifa Stars of Tanzania. After that, they take on the Cranes of Uganda on the 27th. And they wrap up the group action against the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia on the 30th of December. And every game for the Super Eagles is live right here on vivxsports. Don't forget that. And we've got fantastic goodies coming for you as far as the Africa Cup of Nations concerned. Play has been stopped here. What could be the reason for that? Looks like the referee spotted something. Yeah, I think it's Faisal Dele Bashiru pulling the Egyptian midfielder. Ataya.
I don't think his hand got to his mouth. It was just his chest.
But the Super Eagles also have to realize that these are North Africans who have got a lot of antics. It is traditional.
Yeah, it is.
It's something that comes in North African football.
Yeah, for every touch, for every body that gets to them that is not theirs, a foreign body on their body, you see them screaming as if Tipa has hit them. But it's not something to worry about. It's just a friendly, for crying out loud. I don't think I want to see those antics here, and the fans are not even in the stadium to start giving the referee some kind of pressure to blow some of these calls. I think just let the game flow.
No sign of Mo Salah on the bench for Egypt, by the way. But we know that he will ultimately be starting for Egypt in their opening game. Egypt are grouped alongside, just quickly look that up once again. They've also got what looks like a very interesting group. I think has got South Africa in that group. It's a group that will be very interesting to follow.
Yeah, they've got South Africa,
Angola,
Zimbabwe,
and Angola. Yeah, so that's a very interesting group. That's Group B. And it'll be very interesting to see.
The interesting thing is that one of the times they won the Nations Cup was against South Africa in 1998, Burkina Faso. I think it will bring back memories. South African side are also a very good side. Let's not forget that Hugo Broos is doing a fantastic job.
Oh, they are one of my dark horses for the tournament alongside DR Congo.
Yeah. And they also have this good blend of home-based players, just like the Egyptians, who have a potpourri of players from Halali, Pyramid, Zamalek, just having that mixture of home-based players who are looking like they've played for a very long time with themselves and are looking like a team that is more composed, that is more football-oriented in this game against Nigeria. Even though I want to give that benefit of doubt to the Nigerian side, who for me, most of them are playing for the first time together and also not having enough chance or enough time to train.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable with the referee in this game, because, I mean, that's another foul that the referee has called on Polonacho and Yasser Ibrahim. But it's actually Yasser Ibrahim Polonacho. What is actually whistled in favor of the Egyptian team.
It's surprising what he's been playing so far. I don't think he's been up to par in this game in terms of how he's been calling some calls.
Egypt on the attack. Ashur calls that one, but it's gone wide. That will not trouble Stanley Nwabali. Oh, that was some good work from the Egyptian side. Let's take a look at that once again. And it's Awazim unable to really clear his lines.
Yeah,
Lands so Ashur. Well, I think there might be contact there. Yeah, there's contact. Rafael Ndika gets just the tip of his foot in there, and that's why it's gone wide. So it's going to be a corner kick to Egypt. I mean, a lot of Nigerians have clamored for players like Rafael Ndika to gain more prominence in the team, and these are games where you need to stake your claim.
Yeah, he needs to show up here. So far, we've not seen much of him in this first half.
Corner kick is taken, but the glancing header from Ashur, it's gone out, and that'll be a goal kick to Nigeria.
Well, the difference we are seeing in this game is the fact that anytime the Egyptians have the ball, there's this urgency to get...
They're forward thinking.
To get to the post of the Super Eagles. And that's not what you're seeing from the Super Eagles. What we are seeing from the Super Eagles is just this laid-back, big man kind of football. Hey, the ball will get there last. Let's just play within ourselves here. Let's just play. And maybe if they want to launch the ball, they launch a long ball trying to connect with Paul. It's been a lackadaisical attitude from the Super Eagles players. Unlike the Egyptians, who are serious-minded, who are business-like minded in this game, trying to get the early goal in this friendly match.
I told you earlier before the game kicked off, Opta supercomputer says Egypt are second favourites behind Morocco to win the African Cup of Nations. We're still yet to get a goal here. Egypt from the right-hand side sends a cross in. It's Seydou Sanusi on the way to a corner kick, as Egypt will have another chance via set play. Actually, it's hit the back of Fisad El Bashir, who's also been quiet in the game.
Very quiet, Olali. Very quiet, because when you wear the number 10 jersey, it tells a lot, especially when you're playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We want to see a creative spark. We want to see a creative play from you. We've not seen that.
You also have to realize he's just coming back from injury as well. So just filling himself back to fitness. Corner kick taken. Polonacho on the defensive side, helping out. Lets it out, but Egypt still have the ball. Send it back in. Super Eagles will clear. Ashur now with the ball. Egypt now dominating. And it's Fati now with the ball on the left-hand side. Finds Fatou. Egypt trying to be very much tidy and careful with the ball. And this is where you love seeing Egypt. They love keeping it very, very compact. Hani sends a through ball. And glove cross, and Egypt converts the goal. Egypt up on the scoring right here in Cairo International Stadium. And it's Sabar who have given the awesome the lead. Egypt won, Nigeria 0 after 28 minutes of action. Awesome Hassan very much delighted with that. And to me, that was well worked by Egypt.
Very well worked, Lali. We've seen it coming. It's been a long time coming from the Egyptian team. The way they've been playing, the way they've been trying to attack, they look more intentional. They look like a team who wants to get the early goal in this match, and they've gotten it. And you look at how way the Nigerian team defended that goal or defended that attacking play. It was very lax from the Super Eagles defense, especially from the left side. I don't know what Seydou Sanusi was looking at when that ball passed through him or passed just by his side. It's just been the Egyptians all the way. And look at the pass again coming in from the left back, and easy peasy. The central defenders were nowhere to be found. Picking up Zebra. That's an offense that Eric Chell will be looking at and saying, hey, this needs to stop, because he was just free there. He had
great pass from Mohamed Hani there to the path of Ciso, and Ciso just really lays it on the plate for Mahmoud Sabar, and it taps it into an empty net.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible the way he was just left alone to just tap that ball into an empty net. I think it's a big worry that the Super Eagles side are really not showing the zeal. They're not showing that urge to play good football here for us to enjoy.
It's Egypt 1, Nigeria 0. Mahmoud Sabar with the goal for the Phroahs of Egypt. Well, without Mo Salah and Omar Mamouche. Forget the Super Eagles are also without Victor Osimhen as well. But will Eric Chell summon the cavalry to come through? Maybe in the second half. But the Super Eagles will have to respond to that goal. It's Sadili Bashir now in that central area as he pushes forward. It's his man. And his final pass to Onuachu gets there, but Onuachu has been sandwiched by those Egyptian players. He recovers really well.
Yeah, a good one from him. Even though he shouldn't have lost the ball in the 18-yard box there.
Super Eagles will come again now with Rafael Onyedika. And I mean, just when I was talking about how the Egyptians were getting into rhythm with the ball and how they could be dangerous, and you know, Mohamed Ani sends that pass that gets Zaidou Sanusi in no man's land.
Yeah,
I talk about Zaidou Sanusi. The build up to that goal was pass to Zaidou Sanusi that he just lackadaisically played it to a throw, played out for a throw in.
It's showing from the way they are demeanor in this game. They are not really putting that interest into trying to play with zest, trying to play with zeal, trying to play with energy. We've not been seeing that positive energy from the Super Eagles of Nigeria here. It's just been that last play, just trying to get by and see how the games runs out. I think the Egyptians have been better here, but let's hope there will be a change here. Again, Zaidou Sanusi losing the ball. It's really ridiculous how he's playing in this match, honestly.
Egypt on the attack once again. Ashur has been very impressive in this game. Finds Zizo, another impressive player, goes to the corner flag, wins a throw-in. Egypt on the up here. In the axes of Zizo and Ashur, really giving the Super Eagles a lot to think of, especially on that right-hand side.
Just look at Zaidou Sanusi, how he's been just dribbled all across from Ashur to every other player. Anytime they get the ball across to him, he's always just being dribbled past. I'm not liking what I'm seeing here from the Super Eagles defense, especially from Zaidou Sanusi's wing. Even though, yes, Igo Obu and also Chidozie Awazim are playing for the first time together, but then again, they need to show some interest. They need to show some willingness to want to defend.
You cannot blame the Super Eagles players, and the reason is, I mean, at the beginning of the game, I told you about what we're going to see from Egypt: a lot of chemistry, a lot of understanding, a lot of telepathy. You look at the right-hand side of the Egyptian team from attack to defense. Hani plays at Al-Akli, Ashur plays at Al-Akli, Zizo plays at Al-Akli. They understand themselves really well.
Yeah.
And that is what they are going to use to the advantage against players like Zenusi, Isayo Dele Bashiru, who don't have any understanding.
Yeah, but then he has, even if you don't have an understanding, but put some mind in the game, put some energy in the game. We're not seeing the energy from the Super Eagles defense. We're not seeing the energy from the midfield. We're not seeing the energy from the attack. I think overall this team has not shown us anything to look forward to in this Nations Cup. And these men or boys or whatever you want to call them, they're not showing that fight in this match.
Look like Chidozie Awazim might have gotten into trouble with the foul, but referee waves play on. Or advantage, basically. But it's an advantage that Egypt have not really made use of, as the Super Eagles regain possession. On our screen here, we can also see top EFA officials, as the Egyptian Football Association, taking in the game. And this is basically a send-forth for Egypt. They travel to Tangier tomorrow. That's where they will be based for Group B action that features the Palancas Negras of Angola, Bafana Bafana of South Africa, and the Warriors of Zimbabwe. Then they are expected to definitely progress in that group. Long ball forward from El Shenawi. The Super Eagles regain possession again. It's Haudili Bashiru trying to win the 50-50, or it's Ebenezaki Somero. Good physical work, but it's been bested. As Egypt attack through Imam Ashur, through to Zizo. Lovely back and forth between both players. Players really understand each other very, very well. And they've shown that this first half. As Egypt win another free kick. They're absolutely on top of us.
Yeah, they are. They are playing very well. Winning back ball possession quickly when they lose it. More compact in midfield, more attack-oriented, trying to spread the ball wide to widen our players and kick them out of positions. Look at the Levy, the Hussein Hassan on the touchline, also trying to be very, very creative in terms of his tactical ideas he's passing to the players. I think Nigeria needs to do more in this game.
Right, do more. Ebezaki Samiro on the attack. Finds Chidera Ejuke, whose influence as waned a bit as the game continues. Egypt now, it's their turn to attack. Lovely ball to Ibrahim Mustafa. It's Fati now with the ball. On the left-hand side. We haven't seen much of Egypt from that left-hand side. I think they've targeted Zaidou Sunusi rightly. And now they're on the right-hand side. It's Mohamed Hani, the captain and right back. Finds Ashur. Ashur tries to nutmeg Zaidou Sunusi with the pass, but it's out for a throw. Imam Ashur has been really good in those central spaces. The last few minutes, it's tried to come to that right side of attack.
Yeah, he's been the most lively player in this match. The way he's been able to link up with the attack. He's gone from midfield to right wing, and he's been so dangerous for the Egyptians.
Right, Sabah also, the goal scorer, has popped up in some very interesting positions. Now he's on the left-hand side. The goal scorer finds Fati. Fati will go back to the Maghrib. Maghrib finds Ibrahim Yasser. As Egypt will take their time and try to keep the ball. Super Eagles not really committed to the full press
at all.
And spaces in midfield, lovely passer from Ashur to find Sabar. Super Eagles all over the place. Zaidou Sunusi now gets the ball to Slavia Prague, Zigo Ogbu. Super Eagles are trying to find a way to really hurt Egypt. They've not been able to carve out clear chances. Yeah. Nigeria.
No clear chances at all, and you could see looking very docile when they hold the ball, not really having any creative spark from midfield to join the attack. I think it's a worrying sign that maybe we might not just have a very good bench when we get to the AFCON proper, because these players more or less the players who are going to be on the bench for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And you look at the way they are playing this match, it's not been encouraging, it's not been inspiring, especially for Zaidou Sunusi, who is supposed to be a left-back starter for the Super Eagles. I'm really worried at this point in time.
Just bent on keeping the ball in those defensive spaces. Awazim also knows he has to be careful with the passes. One has gotten him into trouble, so I think he'll be restricted in aiming those long passes. So they're trying to play it safe.
And the problem is nobody's dropping into that defense to pick the ball in midfield. And you'll have expected Rafael Onyedika to be doing all of this, as we've seen him for Club Brugge. But hey, he's not doing that. Even Frank Onyeka is still nowhere to be found, trying to cut out passes from the Egyptian. It's not working. The Egyptians, anytime they have the ball in midfield, they are slicing throughout the midfield like a knife on butter. So it's really terrible from the Super Eagles side. I'm really not impressed with what they've shown us in this first 45 minutes, or going to 37 minutes right about now. But then let's see what happens. Maybe in the second half they might just step up.
Egypt enjoying the possession of the ball. Mohamed Hani on the right-hand side sends another lovely pass towards Zizo. Suddenly they've turned defense into attack. Zizo drops it for Ashur. Lovely cross, but hey, that's not lovely. It's out of play.
I think he saw...
Probably saw Nwabali off his line and was trying to
just put that cheeky one. And trying to get that goal for himself.
But once again, it's good work coming from Egypt.
Excellent work.
That combination between Zizo, Ashur and Mohamed Hani has really put the Super Eagles in a bad place. We can now see pictures of players like Ademola Lookman
trying to get a stretch.
Maybe he's trying to get a stretch. Maybe Eric Chella also has instructed him to start getting ready, maybe for the second half.
The Egyptians look like a better coach team. They look like a team that is better.
They are organized in trying to, they're not going with a full press, but you know that they are controlling the ball even without having the ball.
In fact, they're telling the Super Eagles where to put the ball, and trying to win the ball back from there. It's so organized from the Egyptian side. You are enjoying what they're playing. The players of the Super Eagles are just trying to play some individual play here. Let's see how.
All right, Zaidou Sunusi with that run, a long bursting one, sends a low cross in, but won't get there. It's out for a throw in to Nigeria. They could send them a long one in there. Onuachu receiving attention from Abdel Maguid. Adili Bashiru. Looks like he wants to take the throw, but I think he's shirked that responsibility to Bright Onyeka. Frank Onyeka, beg your pardon. And Onyeka is getting ready to launch a missile.
A long one.
When he plays at Brentford, right?
Yeah, we've been seeing long balls.
And we know that Michael Phroahs is a player. I'm sure he must have learned one or two things from the Italian.
Definitely.
Long throw about to come in for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We'll trail 1-0. Courtesy Mahmoud Sabara's goal. And here comes target is spotted. Two and them. That was almost going in.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Wow.
It's going in El Shinawi.
And that's the presence I like about Paul Onuachu in the 18-yard box. When you have that kind of height, when you have that kind of stature, you get in those long balls for him to either flick on for the second ball.
Actually, it's Mustafa Mohamed, the Egyptian striker, who got ahead to it. I was almost going in for an own goal, but El Shinawi, timely intervention there, turned onto it, and that's why it's not 1-1. But it's a corner kick to Nigeria. Zaidu Sanusi will swing that one in as we close in on half-time at the Cairo International Stadium. It's Egypt 1, Nigeria 0. Live commentary right here on vivxsports. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The very best of the AFCON lives right here on this channel. So make sure you subscribe as we get ready for the biggest African football fiesta. Corner kick comes in. It's repelled by Egypt. Well, danger still lurks around, but looks like Egypt might have won a free kick to alleviate the pressure. That was a good save for El Shinawi.
Yeah, very good save from El Shinawi. He's been aware, but the long throw also from Frank Onyeka, fantastic one, putting pressure on the Egyptian defense. He had to flick that ball back, thinking that maybe his goalkeeper was going to get an easy catch, but I think El Shinawi was also at the last there. Fantastic save from the goalkeeper to make sure it wasn't the ball dropping in as an own goal.
And that's the thing about long throws. Even if your player doesn't get to the end of it, the opposition player could get ahead to it, and it could cause chaos. I mean,
plenty.
I mean, we saw a lot of that in the Premier League. Nick Bolton, Newcastle, against Sunderland, the Wear Time derby. You know,
we've seen the Egyptian goal again. Very easy goal for them.
Yeah, very easy.
The Nigerian defense made it so easy for them.
It was two passes that cracked the Super Eagles open. The first from Mohamed Hani, second from Zizo. And Zizo just lays it on the plate for Mahmoud Sabar.
And you will have expected Bright Osai Samuel to be closing on his mark there, talking about Sabar, but he wasn't nowhere to be found. I feel sometimes Bright Osai Samuel just sent some very wrong signals in terms of his defensive play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Yes, on the ball, very good. Attacking-wise, very good. But his defensive call...
I mean, you might blame Bright Osai, but I think that Mohamed Zaidu Sanusi allowing that pass from Hani, a long pass to go through him on his outside, it should have been doing better. Yeah, it should have been aligned to responsibility.
But Bright, you say a man running into your 18-yard box and you're not running with him. You're not
tracking your man.
Not tracking your man. I think that's also you have to point a finger at too, I think.
All right, Super Eagles trying to respond to going down. Long ball towards Paul Onuachu. Tries to control, wins a foul. It's a free kick to Nigeria as we close in on half time. And there's been a constant thing we've seen. Onuachu being grappled by the Egyptian central defenders. They've taken turns at him. Super Eagles down the left-hand side. Zaidu Sanusi finds Igor Ogu. Super Eagles trying to, something from the wings. Chidera Ejike also being more dynamic. He's popped up in the right side this time around. Handball, Frank Onyeka. Free kick to Egypt. Another promising sort of momentum. Ruined the Super Eagles not taking care of the ball.
I don't think Frank Onyeka handled the ball.
Yeah, handled the ball. That was got to see Mustafa Mohamed pressing the Brentford man. There we can see the center referee. I'm telling the captain of the Super Eagles to calm down. They're also not happy with what he's saying. as Egypt are set to take a half-time lead into the dressing room. But a lot could still change. Mohamed Hani, the right back and captain for Egypt, has been very impressive for me.
Yeah.
He's dealt with Bashir and Sanusi, you know, well on the left hand of the Nigerian attack. He's also popped up in some good spaces, especially his passing has been really sublime.
Absolutely fantastic. Talking about the right back, Hani. He's been bumping forward, going forward, putting in the passes, putting in the cross. The goal that they had, you want to say pre-assists. They also came from
if that is a word.
Yeah, we've seen it all over. But you have to give it to him. He's been very solid in defense and also in attack.
Another throw-in for Nigeria in that same position. Onyeka launches another one. It's a long as usual, but this time around, Egypt will take care of it. Imam Ashur now with the ball. It's been crowded by two Nigerian players. Gets it out, but Onyeka gets the ball, sends a cross in. Onuachu trying to attack it. Onuachu is getting a lot of attention.
And the problem is he seems to be the only Nigerian player in the 18-yard box. That's a worry for me. I feel anytime Nigeria has the ball, they tend not to have plenty of players in the 18-yard box, making it very easy to crowd out Paul Onuachu, who is the sole player for Nigeria, always getting into the box.
I also find Chidera Ejuke's positioning in the last 10 minutes of this game very, very curious. He's been playing more on the right-hand side. You need him to get to that byline. You need him to be able to cut into his right, his most dangerous foot, and probably get one or two shots on target.
Well, I think he's been trying to play the creative role in the attack for the Super Eagles, and so he's been trying to go everywhere, trying to get the ball, trying to dribble his way, trying to find safe spaces to put in those passes. As we see again, what looks like a handball against the Egyptian goal scorer Seba.
It looks like Nigeria want maybe a penalty, but that was actually outside of the box.
It was actually outside of the box,
and it's a free kick to Nigeria on the edge of the Egyptian area. 1 minute has been added on, and that 1 minute is done. But looks like the referee would allow this free kick be taken before he sounds the whistle for half-time.
I don't know if Nigeria can use a set piece.
Yeah, I mean, a goal could be transformational for Nigeria.
Absolutely.
As the Super Eagles get ready to take that free kick. Expect a lot of grappling once again. It's Onuachu and his customer. That's Abdelmajid. They've been grappling at each other all through the game.
He's just trying to get to Onuachu.
Yeah. And you could see the Super Eagles players preventing him from getting close to Onuachu. But the referee is saying otherwise. At the Egyptian number 4, Osam Abdelmajid, has got the right to be able to mark anyone he wants to. But I mean, it's getting really intense in here. I think the referee has to keep an eye on it. I think it comes bottom. And Shinawi makes a mess of that, and the Super Eagles get back, and it's redemption for Chidozie Awasiem, who equalizes on the stroke of halftime for the Super Eagles. It's Egypt 1, Nigeria 1.
Yeah, so it's a blunder from El Shinawi, an opportunity for Nigeria to stroke that in from Chidozie Awasiem, but you have to say that was a powerful shot from that free kick. I think that also contributed to El Shinawi not being able to hold that ball tight. But again, before that free kick happened, there was a pulling, there was a pushing on Paul Onuachu. Maybe also that also distracted the goalkeeper. But hey, that was a calamitous ball from El Shinawi. He should be holding that. You shouldn't be letting that off your hands. I don't know how that got off his hands, but then advantage Nigeria. El Shinawi will look at this. Oh, I think he hit the
actually hit the upright and ricocheted into the path of Chidozie Awasiem, who just has to, hit the ball into an empty net. But that was also a good effort from Zaidu Sanusi with the free kick.
Yeah.
El Shinawi just could not hold on to it, and he parried it onto the upright. And Chidozie Awasiem just had to do the easy job. And Nigeria have leveled matters in Cairo. It's Egypt 1, Nigeria 1. action right here on vivxsports. It's getting interesting between the 7-time winners of the AFCON and 3-time winners. And I'm sure that the referee will be signaling for halftime, and yes, he does. It's halftime in Cairo. Egypt 1, Nigeria 1. Mahmoud Sabah giving Egypt the lead, and on the stroke of halftime, Chidozie Awaziem equalizes after an error from El Shinawi, the Egyptian goalkeeper, and both teams will go into the dressing room knowing that there's a big second 45 minutes still to come. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, Timi Owoye will definitely tell us what is made of the first 45 minutes and what is expected in the second period of this tune-up game between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Phroahs of Egypt. We'll be right back.
Super Eagles. There would be no starting captain. Wale and Timi, who has announced his retirement, also due to injury. We've got Calvin Bassey, Zaidu Sanusi, Semilo Guajayi, Bruno Yemechi, Igbo Ogu, Chidozie Awaziem, Bright Osayi, Samuel, and a new one, Ryan Alebioshu. Unfortunately for the Super Eagles, we would not be having at the service of the big man, Benjamin Frederick, the 20-year-old who caught the eye in the games against the Gabon and also DR Congo. He got injured and he will be out for 2 months due to injury from his training with his club side. So these defenders are the defenders who are taken to the AFCON. For obvious reasons, the senior man in this defense is Calvin Bassey. Many are looking at him to see what he can pop up with. And the new man also, Ryan Alebioshu of Blackburn Rovers. So it remains to be seen how Eric Chell would set up his side, especially in the heart of the defense. Would he go a 3-5-2 formation or his usual 4-4-2 diamonds? Speaking of diamonds in the midfield, midfielders are Wilfred Didi, Franco Yeka, Fisayo Dele Bashir, Mohamed Hassan, Alex Iwobi, Ebenezer Akinsomiro, Rafael Onyedika, and Tochukwu Nnadi. This midfield has 3 new names in Mohamed Usman, Ebenezer Akinsomiro, and Tochukwu Nnadi. Tochukwu Nnadi plays for Vosek Diarve right there in Belgium. For Tochukwu Nnadi, he has played 15 matches this season. He's got some couple of yellow cards, and he's been touted as a very, very reliable deep line midfielder who can actually win the balls and win duels very well for the Super Eagles. While for Ebenezer Akinsomiro, a player of Inter Milan, won the Coppa Italia with Inter Milan before going on loan to Sampdoria. Now he's also on loan with Pisa. He's one of the interesting names in the midfield for Pisa this particular season. He was said to be part of the team that would be going for the World Cup qualifiers, that did go for the World Cup qualifiers, but unfortunately he got injured due to a shoulder injury. Now he is in the team. Well, there's a 31-year-old Mohamed Usman. Mohamed Usman was part of that 2016 squad that went to the Olympics and got a bronze medal, and interestingly in that squad there was Trust Ekong. Trust Ekong is now retired while Mohamed Usman is now in the team. Interesting choice of midfield options for Eric Chell's side. Now for the forwards, this is where everyone wants to pay attention to. Ademola Lookman seems to be back in form in the last couple of games. There is also Victor Osimhen, not forgetting Ako Adam, Samuel Chukwueze, Cyril Dezes, and also Moses Simon. Chidera Ejuke, who scored in the playoffs of the World Cup, while Paul Onuachu, who has been bagging goals for his club in Turkey, is also included. And also Salim Fago, this player scored 5 goals in his last 15 matches for his team, and as it stands now, is a name that so many people have mentioned to be able to help Victor Osimhen out in the number 9 role. We all know very well that the likes of Chidera Ejuke will play from the flanks, and also Samuel Chukwueze and Ademola Lookman. So these are the 28 players in which Eric Chell has trusted to bring Nigeria's 4th African Cup of Nations title. Would these players be able to do it without the likes of William Troost-Ekong, without the likes of Olaino? William Troost-Ekong was instrumental for us at the last AFCON where we got to the final. Your guess is as good as mine. So at 54 Football X, we're asking you, what do you make of this 28-man squad list of the Super Eagles? Do you think this list can actually win us our 4th African title, or at least get to the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations in Morocco? Drop your comment in the comment section. Mike the Pundit here for 54 Football X.
I missed quite a lot, but like I think I missed the boys. To be honest, I missed the boys. I missed the vibe in the camp. You know, because we've been quite a lot together. And yeah, I think the most noticeable thing I missed is the boys, being around the boys and us being together in all types of challenges. I do once in a while. We do chat, we check up on each other. Yeah. So like I have my own colleagues that I'm quite. But in general, I do reach out to the boys. I was filled with joy, a joy that I cannot actually express to you right now. But yeah, it was relieving to know that I'm coming back again to be with the boys and to have that same feeling we used to have before, and to represent Nigeria, which is the most important thing. I think anybody that is called up into the national team is ready. If you're not ready, you won't be called up. I think the technical crews, the scouts, they know what they're doing, and for them to call somebody up, they know that the person is ready to represent the country. So basically, I am ready, and if the time comes and the country needs me, I will be ready. I think I was with Amas twice in the national team before I stopped coming. Yeah, so he's a good lad. We were close. I'm close to everybody, and Stanley is my brother. He's my brother. When he came, we were all together. We helped each other. I helped him. He helped me. So Stanley is a good guy, which I have a very close relationship with him. Maybe the people outside don't see it, but personally with him, I'm good with him, and also with Amas.
Very big difference. Look at us. Which skin is this? The fake one?
Perfect. Wait. Okay. Okay, perfect. Use your arm. Use your arm. Use your arm. Use your arm. Left, stop. Left, stop. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Be ready. That's it. Turn. Well done. Again. Well done inside there. Inside. More eyes there. That's it, boy. If you need two, take two, but don't lose the ball. Well done. Well done. Nadia.
A lot, but like I think I missed the boys. To be honest, I missed the vibe in the camp, because we've been quite a lot together, and yeah, I think the most noticeable thing I missed is the boys, being around the boys and us being together in all types of challenges. I do once in a while. We do chat, we check up on each other. Yeah. So I have my own colleagues that I'm quite closer to. But in general, I do reach out to the boys. I was filled with joy, a joy that I cannot actually express to you right now. But yeah, it was relieving to know that I'm coming back again to be with the boys and to have that same feeling we used to have before, and to represent Nigeria, which is the most important thing. I think anybody that is called up into the national team is ready. If you're not ready, you won't be called up. I think the technical crews, the scouts, they know what they're doing, and for them to call somebody up, they know that the person is ready to represent the country. So basically, I am ready, and if the time comes and the country needs me, I will be ready. I think I was with Amas twice in the national team before I stopped coming. Yeah, so he's a good lad. We were close. I'm close to everybody, and Stanley is my brother. He's my brother. When he came, we were all together. We helped each other. I helped him. He helped me. So Stanley is a good guy, which I have a very close relationship with him. Maybe the people outside don't see it, but personally with him, I'm good with him.
Matters for the Super Eagles just before halftime as we look forward to the second half of this tune-up international friendly between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Phroahs of Egypt. It's 5 days to AFCON, and yes, it's Egypt without Mo Salah, it's Super Eagles without Victor Osimhen. Will both of them get to play part? We can confirm that Salah is ultimately out of this one, but maybe Victor Osimhen, although not seen any sign of Osimhen on the bench as well.
No,
for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Timi Weah still here.
I don't think he's even in camp yet.
Okay, so
not heard anything about him being in camp already. But we are still expecting that himself. The last time I checked, it was Victor Osimhen, Samuel Chukwueze, and I think one other player. Just 3 players still being expected for the Super Eagles camp to be complete for the 28th man.
So 1-1 halftime. Your thoughts?
Well, it wasn't an interesting first half for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Yes, they tried their best in the dying minutes of that game to get the equalizer, but apart from that, I don't think they've played anything inspiring in that first 45 minutes. I think the Egyptians were all over us. The Egyptians were more compact, they were more organized, they were more intentional in terms of the attack from midfield to attack, defensive also. Defensive-wise, they were also very, very good. Like we mentioned, Abdul Majid, who was always on Paul Onwachu, making sure he was always holding him, hanging on to him, making him very uncomfortable with those long balls coming in. And I think for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, the attack has not really blended well with midfield. Chidera Ejuke, sometimes you see him, but most of the games in long spells, he tends to disappear. I think that's a big worry for me going into the second half. And also, Sayadele Bashir, you would have expected more from him in terms of that creativeness in midfield. We've not seen that. The cohesive defensive unit also, we've not seen that in terms of the defensive midfield and also the defenders themselves. Chidozie Awazim is already on a yellow card. You'd expect him to at least still step up his game. I think he's still shaking a bit. Bright Samuel, I don't know why he lost his marker in that first goal that we conceded, but I hope to see an improvement in this second half. But overall, Lawale, I need to see more energy from the Super Eagles in this second half because they've not really given us that energy in that first half. I hope to see that in the second half, and I hope to see maybe players from the bench come in and change the dynamics of this game.
All right, don't forget you can call us and share your halftime thoughts with us. The numbers are right there at the bottom of the screen. You can also subscribe to our channel as well and get notifications on the very best of the AFCON coming your way from Sunday. Morocco Comoros opening game is live right here on vivxsports. But if you want to join the show right now, you want to join our live broadcast of this watch along Egypt Nigeria, feel free to call our numbers. You can call on mobile. You can also call on WhatsApp as well. We'd love to hear from you. It's halftime 1-1. Mahmoud Sabah with the 20-minute opener for Egypt before Chidozie Awazim scored in added time just before halftime. Just a quick detour. Let's tell you that from Doha, Qatar, the FIFA Best Awards has concluded with Ousmane Dembele named as the Player of the Year, and Luis Enrique emerged as Coach of the Year. And I think Gianluigi Donnarumma was crowned the best FIFA men's goalkeeper for 2025. Anna Hampton also won the Women's Goalkeeper Award as well. Those are some of the big gongs that were handed out in Doha, Qatar, at the FIFA The Best Awards. All right, let's get back to this game, second half kicking off shortly. But Timmy, what do you want to see from Eric Chell's team in the second half?
Well, like I said, I want to see energy from the players in terms of how they transition the ball, in terms of how they move the ball. I want to see intentionality. I expect them to be also up and running. There should be a sense of urgency. I want to see more defensive awareness from Zaidu Sanusi and also from Bright Osai Samuel. I understand that Ego and also Chidozie Awazim are playing for the first time as partners in that central defense, but I need to see more cohesion from both of them. And if there are going to be changes, I want to see changes that will bring energy, that will bring life to the Super Eagles attack in terms of how they're trying to get goals. The connection is not really there in terms of Paul Onuachu, Chidera Ejuke, and I don't know if it is now Fisayo Dele Bashir who is trying to assist up front in terms of attacking play, or it is just Akin Samiro. But in all of this, you just have to see more connection, more connecting passes between these three players, or maybe four players who are trying to get the balls to Paul Onuachu. I expect that cohesive understanding between the attacking lineup for Nigeria, Paul Onuachu, Chidera Ejuke. I expect that Chidera Ejuke will always show his flair, his skills.
Yeah.
But he should play more with his teammates. He should play more with his strikers, play more with his midfielders, and play some one or two passes that could link up with Paul Onuachu. All of this I expect to see in the second half. And maybe the coach will have other ideas in bringing on some of the players who we saw on the bench. There's an Alex Iwobi, there's
and it's a tune-up game. You're not restricted to changes.
Yeah. So you can have as many changes.
Don't be surprised if I see a brand new 11.
Yeah, and I really love to see that actually, because I've seen what the partnership of Chidozie Awazim and also Igor Ogu can do. I've seen what Akin Samiro can give us in midfield. Like I said earlier, before the game started, I'm not expecting much from him, but then he's a player for the future. I've seen what Rafael Onyedika can do, even though I expected more from him in the first half, but I didn't see that. Maybe because the Egyptians were more proactive, maybe because the Egyptians were more fitter, they were more agile, they were more aggressive in terms of how they were trying to recover the ball when they lost the ball to Nigeria. But in all of this, I still want to see more verve from the Super Eagles in the second half overall.
All right, so love to see more verve and energy from the Super Eagles. We had to confirm if the second half has kicked off. But remember that the two teams have got the liberty to make wholesale changes. It's not an official friendly. It's just a tune-up game ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations. It's 1-1 at the break, and you want to join us and share your thoughts. The numbers are still right there, nestled at the bottom of your screen. Remember to join our community. It's growing, and it's all about African football from here. And we will be bringing to you all the action from the Africa Cup of Nations. But let me just quickly remind you, if you're going to Morocco, maybe my producer can put that on the screen quickly. There are some prohibited items that CAF has listed. You cannot afford them to take with you to the match centers in different cities like Tangier, Fez, Rabat, Casablanca. There are certain items that are prohibited for fans to take to the stadium. Now, if we could quickly have that on the screen. There are some, it's a lengthy list, right?
The one that interests me most is The lasers.
Yeah. No, but the lasers are not there. That's the interesting thing.
The one I saw,
They
actually,
did not list the lasers.
Oh, really? The list I saw lasers not being allowed into the stadium. But I hope they can follow through on all of this that they've listed for.
You cannot take musical instruments, so there's no horns, no vuvuzelas.
I don't think that would be possible. For a Nations Cup that supporters club from Nigeria will be going with their trumpets, with their drums. I don't think that will be stopped. I think they're trying to stifle the fanship, the followership in terms of how the Super Eagles enjoy their fans, in terms of how they give them songs, inspiring songs. I hope that these things are not really that serious. And for me, maybe the rules might just be relaxed for the fans that came with them.
I hope so. I hope they relax.
The rest of it.
But it's a long list. The one I did see. Okay, there you go. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, laser pointers. Okay, this is another one. Yeah, the one I did see, there are no laser pointers there. So laser pointers are prohibited, and that is for the North Africans themselves.
Yes, themselves. So, but now we know these things will still get its way into,
I'm sure. I mean,
the stadium.
by the time we watch the match day 1 or match day 2, we'll see they're following through that.
Morocco is playing the first.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's see if the laser pointers will be prohibited truly, like they said.
Smoking is also prohibited, so you cannot take cigarettes to the stadiums, alcoholic beverages, and narcotics of any kind, articles with inappropriate messages. So that also applies to the players as well.
Yeah.
You can also see whistles, trumpets, horns. That's the note to the supporters club of Nigeria. And you can also take balls of any kind, including footballs, any sort of animals, flags or banners, bottles, cans, professional cameras. I think only accredited journalists or photo journalists will be allowed to take in professional cameras with a detachable lens, lighters, masks, gas sprays, articles of discriminatory, offensive, or politically motivated nature are all prohibited at the CAF Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco that starts on Sunday. So, hey, make sure that you digest this one if you plan to attend the AFCON in Morocco. You should plan to, right? The Super Eagles are in action and going there and support them as they are going for Niger for the win. That's the slogan. All right, action has kicked off. Second of action has kicked off right there at the Cairo International Stadium. It's Egypt 1, Nigeria 1. And the 2 goals obviously was scored in some very interesting moments in the game. Ahmed Sabar with the opener for Egypt before Chidozie Awazim just on the stroke of halftime equalized after what looked like a blunder from dependable Egyptian goalkeeper El Shenawi. All right, looks like we might have to take a break or come back. We'll join up with the second period of this one. Egypt 1, Nigeria 1. Mouth up.
Big difference. Very big difference. Look at us. Which skin is this? The fake one?
Welcome back to our live watch along of this tune-up international friendly between Egypt and Nigeria. It's 1-1. Second half, just about 3 minutes in. And Eric Chell has made a change. It's Tochukwu Nadi who has come on. But who has it come on for, Timi? I think it's come on for Ebenezake Somiro. And we can see him on the screen there. Yeah, Tochukwu Nadi getting straight into the action there. And it appears that he might have come on for. It looks like, it's goalkeeping change as well.
Yep.
Amaso Basoge. It's in goal. Stanley Wabali has been taken off as well. Or will confirm changes that have been made. Cyril Dessus also has come on for the Super Eagles. He's also just returning from an injury layoff for Panathinaikos, only returned to action. just this weekend in Greece. As we try to make sense of the changes. Foul on an Egyptian player there. And it's Paul Onuachu who has to be very careful. The way he's been, using his hands, he might just have landed something into the face.
I think Fisayo...
No, Fisayo is still on the pitch. That's Fisayo. That's Fisayo, number 10.
Fisayo Telebashu is still on the field.
Still very much on the field, yeah. But, yeah, definitely, Tochukwu Nadi has come on for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. As Egypt win a free kick. But while we're trying to make sense of those changes, it's still the Super Eagles holding on to the ball. And now lovely ball towards the path of Cyril Desses. But Desses is unable to get there, tries to press El Shenawi. So it's a front three of Fisayo Bashiru, Onuachu and Desses. Ademola Lookman also has joined the fray as well. So it's wholesale changes, Timi.
Yeah, wholesale changes from Eric Chell. And
Femi Ajayi is also on as well.
Yep. Plenty of movements we've now been seeing. Very good movement from the Super Eagles in the second half. Better than what we saw in the first half. And you have to say it's an encouraging one.
Egypt on the attack there, but Mustafa Mohamed unable to latch onto that lovely pass. I could have put the Super Eagles in some danger. And though Sam Hassan urges his boys on. A good sign of intent and lovely ball coming from Zizo there. There's a feeling that Egypt have remained unchanged from the way they started the first half. But, looking at the team, Ataya still very much in the thick of things in midfield. As the referee signals for a free kick to Egypt. He's North African. Maybe his allegiance also is to Egypt. I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate. I'm not sure any big call has gone the way of Nigeria so far. But what have you made of that front? Is it a front two or front three? Desses or Onuachu?
I think it's a front two. Desses and Onuachu. Cyril Desses and Paul Onuachu trying to get into the attacking mode. I think Fisayo Bashiru is just trying to make up for the attacking play in terms of when the Egyptians are trying to play out from the back. But when you look at it particularly, I think it's a front two. Even Ademola Lookman too coming in from that other side.
Yeah, talking in here.
Yeah, so it's more or less at the front two, and maybe Ademola Lookman coming in from the wings too.
All right, so a couple of changes from Eric Chell right there. So Tochukwu Nadi on, Femi Ajayi on, Ademola Lookman on, but Egypt on the attack there, lovely cross. Well, Mustafa Mohamed once again cannot get to the ball to tap in, but Egypt still holding on to the ball. They confirm Lookman on for Rafael Onyedika. Was had a quiet first half, lovely pass to set for Egypt. And the offside, but lovely ball, it's a goal. Egypt retake the lead. Egypt retake the lead, and it's still the same scorer, Mahmoud Sabar. Actually, it's Mustafa Mohamed, the non-forward, who has scored for the Phroahs of Egypt. Lovely piece of work once again coming from Egypt. But I mean, what do you make of that situation? Sabar was supposed to get to the ball, was offside, but did he interfere with play?
I don't know if he interfered with play, but I think he just let the ball slide past him. He didn't try to run and go for the ball. Instead,
actually, he did. Let's take a look at that again.
I think I'll have to see that again from the slow-mo. But it looked like a very good goal to me. The fact that Sabar just let that ball slide past him, not trying to go for the ball.
And here we go again.
Yeah, we go with
lovely interchange, and it's Imam Ashur once again. Sends the ball.
Yep. Well, he left it. He didn't go for it fully.
But still not interference. Well, he still approached the ball.
Yeah, but then Olale, it's not full. He wasn't interfering with the play. He wasn't stopping the player from going for the ball. Talking about the new entrant also, Onyemachi, the left back who just came on too. I think it was a loss of concentration for the Super Eagles in terms of defensive play here, and they allowed that ball to get to Mohamed, who slotted that into the back of the net.
So Mustafa Mohamed was offside initially, but Timi says he didn't interfere, allowed Mahmoud Sabar to get into it, who lays it back. to Mustafa Mohamed, who was now onside.
Yep.
And then lashes a strong effort, and Amaso Basoge is unable to keep it out. So Amaso Basoge has also started licking in goals. Just on his maybe full debut for the Super Eagles.
Too bad for him. I think it's a test game. We need to see which of these goalkeepers can just be the second choice, the second option for us in terms of in case we have injuries to Stanley Wabali, just like we are seeing El Shinewi now moving out for their second choice goalkeeper.
All right, so Egypt also making wholesale changes. 4 changes to be exact. The goalkeeper El Shinewi is out, and for another of the goalkeepers, Imam Ashur was it's been tormentor in chief. It's also come off. Also, Fatou is off as well. And then the goal scorer, Mustafa Mohamed, has been brought off as well. And we're going to see, players like Mohsen and Amdi also join into this one. Mohamed Amdi is coming for Imam Ashur. So, like we told you earlier on, it's not an official game, so both teams have the license to make as many changes as possible. We've seen that from the Super Eagles already just before the second half kicked off. It's Egypt 2, Nigeria 1 in Cairo. Both teams stepping up preparations for the AFCON Cup of Nations. This will be their final competitive game before they travel to Morocco. Both teams. Egypt made into to Morocco tomorrow. Can't really confirm the plans of the Super Eagles contingent though. As the Super Eagles will try to get back into this one. Shemi Ajayi now with the ball. We'll find Bright Osai Samuel. I mean, you look at the Super Eagles and there's not understanding. I mean, everyone is just trying to wing it. Lacking in chemistry. Yeah. It's not telepathic enough. The passing is not crisp. It's just been here and there. Maybe now some familiar faces like Ademola Lukman, Onyeka, Right to Sai Samuel. Maybe we'll get something going. Still not really working out for the Super Eagles.
Yeah, it's still a topsy-turvy affair from the Super Eagles side, trying to balance themselves into this game, win the ball back, try to play out from the back, try to be composed when they hold on to play. And like you said, the change is really trying to bring in some sense of urgency to our play here, especially our attacking play. Now we're seeing more players trying to get onto the ball and also launching those passes into the 18-yard box of the Egyptian. I think the Egyptian goal really maybe it was something that shouldn't have happened.
Maybe there's VAR. I'm not sure that's a goal.
Yeah, if they had VAR, actually, VAR check, maybe that could have been chopped off. But hey, there's no VAR. It's still a case of the referee just using his instincts to count that as.
Right, that's the thing. That, I mean, the aims of games like this is not really to win, but you just want to
see how your players,
see in what state of mind, physical shape your players are in. You want to form on-pitch bonds and ensure that the team is in tip-top shape ahead of a competition like the AFCON.
Yeah, I think basically that's the essence of this pre-tournament friendly, just to make sure that the players understand themselves, shake up any jet lag, and also try to get some chemistry between themselves, especially for the new players, like we saw in the first half. Chelsea bringing in some newbies, Akin Samiro, Rafael Nyedika, who has hardly had time to play for the Super Eagles.
Do you think we'll have made a stake the claim to start next week Tuesday amongst the guys who started the first half?
I don't know. Maybe Chire Ejuke, definitely. He tried some movements that was really good enough, and also maybe Igor Obu was somewhere in there, but not really fully there. But not convincing performance from any of them actually. Well, if I have to go for one player, it has to be Chire Ejuke.
Right, if it's Hadil Bashir now finds Tochukwu Nadi. Nadi trying to walk some space out there, trying to win a corner kick, but instead he wins a throw for Nigeria. One of the new faces, Eric Chell, called up in his 28-man squad. Kukunadi is his full ball right there in Belgium. 16 matches this season. No goals, no assists. Yeah, with Zulte Waregem. He's 22 years of age. Could he be the breakout or one of the breakout players at the African Cup of Nations? Wait and see. Throw into Nigeria. Franco Onyeka is going to launch another one into the area to cause some chaos. And here you go. But Egypt taking care of business, and in that process, win a free kick.
As always, you have to say long throws cause problem, cause commotion. But this time around, I think the Egyptians are up for it. So we'll see. I think he was even between themselves.
Yeah, but also looked like Igor will probably might just have slightly pushed one of the Egyptian players. And you can see Stanley Wabali right there. Looking resigned to fate. Could he also maybe a recurrence of the problem that's kept him out? And that's why, because I mean, if your goalkeeper wasn't playing in a long while, I think your manager wants to keep you for 90 minutes for you to build match rhythm, build fitness. Maybe there's a recurrence that we don't know yet. We'll confirm. Ademola Lookman coming into his right, making that amazing run, sends it to Saudi Bashiru, sends a cross in. Super Eagles still very much in the box. Cross comes from Bruno Image. He's out for a corner kick. Better from the Super Eagles.
Yeah, fantastic play so far, especially from Ademola Lookman, who is taking on defenders and who is taking the guts to take on some of these defenders, trying to play in some of his players to trying to get a crack at goal. I think it's a good one from Ademola Lookman with that good run.
Ademola Lookman will take that corner kick. And set piece has never been a forte for the Super Eagles. Take that one. Egypt will clear, but not convincing enough. Super Eagles will recycle the possession. Lovely pass from Bruno back to Ademola Lookman, who beats his man. But unable to beat the second, but still wins a corner kick. It's back-to-back corner kicks for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Would they be up to something?
They could, because they're looking like a pressing team right now, and they're looking more threatening in terms of the attacking play, especially from Ademola Lookman, who is using his ball skills to take on some of these Egyptian defenders who are now crowding their defense to have plenty of defenders to help them defend the attacking play from Nigeria.
It could have been a chance for the Super Eagles, but Egypt cleared their lines. And it's time for Egypt to attack, but Phroahs Bashiru quickly gets there, playing as an auxiliary or standing central defender, and gets it back to Amasu Basogi. Why do you think Eric Chell has not gone with Uzor and go with the third choice, sort of, Obasoge? Or you think that with Obasoge getting the look in, it's second choice and Uzor is third choice?
Well, I think for Obasoge, he has always invited Obasoge to the Super Eagles camp. He's always seen him. I think Eric Chell is having the opportunity to see Francis Uzor for the first time.
Yeah.
His coaching crew also, they are looking at Francis Uzor like a player who is new to them.
To them, yeah.
And so definitely they have to go with somebody who they understand, somebody who understands them, somebody who they've seen over time coming to the Super Eagles camp in Amasu Basoge. So I'm not really surprised that Amasoge might just be the number 2 choice. And remember, for every game that we've played in the qualifiers, Amasoge has always been invited under Eric Chell.
And maybe it could be a way of the manager telling the NFF that I'm in charge of this team.
Absolutely.
With some reports saying that some players might just have been imposed on the manager. But yeah, he's saying, hey, I'm the guy who calls the shots, and Amasu Basoge is who I'm going to place my faith in if Stanley Wabali. But based on that goal he considered, I'm not sure that Amas also is a commanding presence in goal.
Well, he's not, but we've not seen much of him, so I won't sit here to judge him in terms of his goalkeeping expertise. But one thing I just want to allude to, like you said, is the fact that Eric Chell is trying to make sure he tells whoever is in charge of the NFF or trying to interfere with his job that, hey, I run this team, I pick this team, I pick my starting 11, nobody's going to interfere with me or interfere in my decisions or with my decisions in terms of who starts and who sits on the bench. I think I like that for him, but all of this will amount to nothing if we still don't do well at the AFCON.
Right, Super Eagles trying to get back into this one. Right side now the ball. Tries to combine with Phroahs of Bashiru. Bashiru to Onyeka. Onyeka sends a cross in. Cyril Dessus, can he get there? It's unable to. Mohamed Ali is going to mop it up. The Egyptian captain wins a throw in, and Ademola Lookman trying to recover there.
Lively play from the Super Eagles in the second half. I must give it to them. They've been very impressive in terms of trying to win back the ball. And I like the fact that these new players that Eric Chelle has injected into the starting 11 or the second half, they've really been showing their beats. Cyril Dessers opening space for passes in the 18-yard box, and we've seen Paul Onuachu still trying to connect too with Cyril Dessers.
Well, all of this is still, I mean, these players are feeding off scraps.
Yep.
The constant theme of a lack of creativity in the Super Eagles is still very much evident in this team.
Yes, very evident.
There's nobody who can really grab the ball and say, you know what, I'm going to create, I'm going to feed you guys.
Apart from maybe Ademola Lookman, who is trying to get goals for himself.
I mean, Ademola Lookman also will do all of that, but still wants to get the goal for himself.
And I think that's the biggest problem for the Super Eagles in recent times, not having that player who could command control in midfield, who could dictate the state of play and dictate how the play is going for the Super Eagles. But so far, so good in the second half. I think it's been better than the first half, I must say. I think I like the energy that the Super Eagles have put in for this next 45 minutes.
All right, we'll see as Egypt launch across, finds Mahmoud Sabah is in the box, tries to find space to shoot, but I think there's a seemingly indecision that has cost him as he's been intercepted. But Cyril Dessers also just could not decide what he wanted to do with the ball, and that's it to Bruno Emechi, who unfortunately has to get the ball out of play. But that was some good pressing work from one of the Egyptian substitutes, Ibrahim Yasser. Osam Hassan converges with his assistants in the technical area. I remember, Egypt, for me, one of the greatest, if not the greatest AFCON manager of all time is Egyptian, Hassan Sheata.
Yeah, I think he won three.
Won three AFCON titles, yeah.
You have to give it to him, one of the legends of the game.
Oh, yeah.
And for me,
he was always a calming presence.
Yeah.
On the touchlines for the Egyptian national team, Hassan Sheata. And the likes of Osam Hassan also played under the legendary manager. As Egypt are trying to go forward here, but great work from Igor Ogu to stop Saber in his tracks. Super Eagles very much ponderous with the ball, lacking speed of thoughts, lacking urgency. So Chukwunadi at the base of midfield there, the Zultavaric midfielder. Bruno Emechi on the left. Sends that cross in.
Good defense.
But Ibrahim Yasser is at the scene of the crime real quick to avert danger. As Egypt tried to go on the counter, but the pass from Sabar is unable to connect with his fellow attacker. It's Super Eagles now enjoying a bit of the possession in here. As Ademola Lookman thinks he's won a free kick, but referee says no, it's play on.
I think the referee saw that clearly. It should have been a free kick. But then he's just playing to the gallery here, or blowing to the gallery, giving advantages to the Egyptians more or less in this match so far that we've seen not too balanced in terms of officiating.
So it's Nigeria still with the ball. Bright Osai Samuel coming into those central areas. And they have the ball, but not breaking open Egypt, who have been organized. 2 banks of 4, in a 4-4-2 system, sort of.
And they've been very, very solid in terms of how organized they are.
Yeah.
They've not allowed the Super Eagles mesmerizing runs to alter their defensive formation, as we see again that second goal.
Honestly, I think it's offside, because if you check Mustafa Mohamed's run is prevented Bruno Emechi from getting to the ball. It's interference. Oh, sorry, it's prevented Igor Ogu from getting to the ball. And that allows Mahmoud Saber to be able to get the ball and lay it back onto Mustafa Mohamed.
I think all this happens
I think if there's VAR, definitely it's not a goal.
Maybe if there was VAR,
it's not a goal.
the VAR could have called it.
All right, Egypt preparing to make another change, and it's the game's first goal scorer, Mahmoud Sabar, was preparing to come off. Don't forget, Faisal, Amdi, Mohsen, and El Shenawi already came off for the Phroahs of Egypt. And now it's number 15, Shehata, will be coming on for Sabar. And coincidentally, we just talked about Hassan Shehata, right?
Yeah.
And now we have Zamalek's Mohamed Shehata coming on for Mahmoud Sabar. And we already told you guys that this team is largely made up of players who play in the Egyptian Premier League, Zamalek, Pyramids, Al-Hakli. When do you think that could apply to Nigeria? In how many years from now?
It's a long shot because
where the core of the national team will be based from clubs like Enyimba, Remo Stars, Rangers, Manopolis.
The funny thing is, even if it happens,
yeah,
these players will still like to move abroad. Once they play for the Super Eagles, they play 1 match, 2 matches.
So if they want to move abroad, that means it cannot happen. It can't happen.
Yeah,
until our players start staying here, until there's a staying power.
Until we have that staying power where our good legs don't just run abroad. They stay here and play football. They earn good money.
Yeah.
They are comfortable playing football in Nigeria, in the MPFL. So we can have most of our players.
Look at Mohamed Abutrika, for me, the best player ever in Africa, never to play in Europe. But he never needed to play in Europe.
Yeah, because he was comfortable.
Yeah.
Playing in the Egyptian league. And
look at the South Africans as well. They're comfortable playing in the PSL.
Teboho Mokoena, one of their best players, still playing in the PSL. So it tells you the story that if the league is not well fixed, if it's not well run, if it's not thriving in terms of financial attribution or financial incentives for those players, you will not just have that Super Eagles ball players playing in the MPFL like the Egyptians are having, like the South Africans are having.
Egypt once again with the ball. It's their turn to take care of the ball. Ibrahim Yassar. Lovely passing sequence coming from the Phroahs of Egypt. And when they are in the mood, it can be dangerous, as we've seen with the 2 goals that they've scored. It's come off the back of some fantastic passing sequence. So the Super Eagles have to be very wary of that. It's a decent crowd that's come to watch a tune-up game. I thought it was going to be played behind closed doors. But apparently, some Nigerians have also been able to come in and support the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Don't forget that Cairo is also, it's got a thriving Nigeria community in there.
Yep.
And I'm sure that quite a lot of them will be making that trip to Morocco to go support the Super Eagles. Play has been stopped. Igbo Ogbu is down. Appears to be clutching onto his ankle. Worrying signs for the Super Eagles. Igbo will be one of the players we'll be counting on as we take a look at how Egypt took the lead. Well worked action. Well worked play from Egypt, starting with the right back, Mohamed Hani. And that's a very good goal. Very, very good goal.
Sweet one. From Faisal, from Seba.
And the Super Eagles get back to level. Zaidu Sanusi with a wicked whipped-in free kick. El Shenawi unable to deal with it. Ricochets off the upright, and Chidozie Awaziem 6 redemption and gets it. Remember, it was yellow carded earlier on in the game. And once again, yeah, you see.
Yeah, I think I see better now.
Yeah. I think VAR will have interpreted that as interference.
Yeah.
But maybe Amasu Basuge should be doing better.
Maybe, but we've seen the best of goalkeepers not keeping that out. It's all about testing some of these players, seeing what they can do in match day and on match day.
And this is Amase's first big game.
Yeah.
The Super Eagles.
See, the funny thing is, he looks comfortable in trying to save that ball, but I think the shots also, and also the power.
Yeah, there's a lot of power in that. Yeah, in that effort. Yeah,
went in was just plenty for him to hold on to.
All right, we are coasting towards the final quarter of the game. 73 minutes gone. Egypt still lead the Super Eagles United by 2 goals to 1. Egypt trying to go on the attack, but offside. As Osam Hassan continues to cheer on the boys. This one, and the Tigers get back. Let's see much of Paul Onuachu in the second half.
Yeah.
He's tired out, but maybe also, I mean, lack of service, which has always been a constant worry anytime he plays for the national team.
I think it's a lot, Ali. It's been a total lack of service. He's been trying to get the ball himself, trying to link up with the midfielder to get the balls gets into him. And I think the Egyptians understand this. Anytime the ball is being tried to him or sent to him by those long balls, there's always a man trying to mark him and also put pressure on him.
Mr. Massa looks like a manager who's never satisfied. Yeah, it looks like he's seeking perfection every time. Barking orders, even when the Egyptian side are in the lead right there in Cairo. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are vivxsports. Always bringing you the very best of African football. And the AFCON is live right on vivxsports starting on Sunday when the hosts take on Comoros. That should be a good game. Morocco super favourites to go on to win a tournament they have not won since 1976. And they last hosted in 1988. But this time around, can they host and win this one? Coming off the back of getting to the semi-finals of the World Cup in Qatar 3 years ago.
Crashing out of the round of 16.
But they also crashed out of the round of the AFCON in Ivory Coast, yeah.
Terrible one for them last time out.
We expected a lot from them, but South Africa was just too much for them to handle. But can they do it on home soil? Super Eagles on the attack. Lovely work from Phroahs of Egypt on the half turn. Sends it to Bright Samuel, but that's a very, very poor cross.
Every time
Bright Samuel.
Every time he's played for the Super Eagles, I'm not always impressed with.
He has another chance to send a better one, but this time sends a low pass to Phroahs of Egypt. Both trying to make something work on that right side of attack. Shemi Ajayi joining the fray. Gets it back to Osai Samuel. Osai Samuel back to Franco Nyeka. Sends a cross in there. Ademola Lukman cannot get there on time. Or keeps it away from going to a throw-in. Super Eagles coming again. Seeking that equalizer. Lukman back to Tochukwu Nadi. Nadi to Igor Ogu. Looks like Ogu is finally fine after what looked like he could have been injured. And you could see Egypt, I mean, they just know that, you know, if we're organized, you cannot break us.
Yeah. I think forming that low block, being compact, trying to guide every ball, trying to get into the 18-yard box. I think they've been doing a very good job so far in this second half.
Shemi Ajayi trying to go into the box, sends a low pass in there, but Egypt clear. It's out for a throw-in. Something might just have been going on between Cyril Dessus and an Egyptian player. The referee wants a word. Asking for a penalty. You can see the Super Eagles bench led by Chidozie Awase asking question of the officiating. Let's take a look at that once again. And that's some
terrible,
yeah,
terrible offensive.
That was off the ball, but that happened inside the box. But looks like there was a pulling on going on between the Egyptian defender and Cyril Dessus.
I think the referee saw it. He just looked away, believing that the ball wasn't in play in that aspect of that foul on Cyril Dessus.
So the referee is unperturbed, but looks like the referee might just want a word with Eric Chell as the play is stopped right here. Yeah, we can see the referee addressing the Super Eagles coach. Can be temperamental. We found that out at the World Cup playoffs, right?
Yeah.
When he incinerated DR Congo.
Yeah, using
voodoo, right?
And he's gotten a yellow card.
Yeah, Eric Chell has gotten a yellow card. As both the referee and the Super Eagles manager continue to have words. But he's been shown a yellow card for dissent. But let's take a look at that once again. Yeah, it's Cyril Dessers and the Egyptian defender having a comment together. And looks like Chell was insinuating that was the referee blind to that.
I think he's still trying to make his points known to the referee, because you can't keep doing this and expect people to just keep quiet about your officiating.
I don't want to sound like I'm biased, but the referee's Egyptian as well. You can see the Egyptian badge, the EFA badge.
Yeah, we know.
But on his refereeing jersey or refereeing top.
Oh, you have to be professional. The world is watching you here.
Definitely, he's a FIFA badge referee.
Yeah.
So his professionalism can never be questioned. Play will restart once again. 80 minutes score now at the Carrington Arsenal Stadium. Throw to Nigeria as Frank Onyeka readies himself to launch another long one into the Egyptian area. We're probably expecting some late drama between Egypt and Nigeria as Frank Onyeka gets set to take this throw-in. And instead he goes short, gets it to Osai Samuel. Osai Samuel back to Onyeka. Onyeka returns it back to Osai Samuel. The cross has to be good. It's poor once again from Osai Samuel. As Egypt launch a counter-attack. Well, fortunately, it's been curtailed at the Super Eagles, who win a free kick. The pride to Osai Samuel has not covered himself in glory in this game, has he?
He hasn't. And I think that's my worry going into the tournament proper, because he looks like the only right back that Eric Shell will be depending on for the tournament proper. And for me, his deliveries have not been good enough. Yes, he's good on the ball. He's very skillful when he has the ball. But then defending-wise, attacking-wise,
I think players like Paulo Nacho will have been disappointed with Osai Samuel today. He didn't get lots of service.
He didn't get those services from Bright Osai Samuel. And I'm really not having hopes for him at this AFCON, honestly.
Right, but can the Super Eagles deliver something late here? Osai Samuel has seen a lot of the ball. He's with the ball now. Finds Phroahs of Egypt. Both have been in constant touch with each other in this game. Dele Bashiru, you get a feeling manager wants to give him all 90 minutes to build up fitness, because he'll be relying so much more on the Lazio midfielder in this tournament. It starts on Sunday. Shemi Ajayi sends that long pass towards Bruno Emechi. Emechi finds Admiral Lukman in the left half space. Lukman sends that cross in. Cyril Dessers is unable to get there, but Phroahs of Egypt.
Come on.
Too much force, too much pressure on the ball there. It's out for a goal kick, but Phroahs of Egypt has to do better there.
Yeah, he has to do better. I think he was looking for the glory there. Instead of trying to give glory to Cyril Dessers or somebody, Paul Onuachu, who was already getting into a better position to have...
But easily have just sent a soft one there.
A soft cross into that 18-yard box or 6-yard box would have been better sufficed. It would have better sufficed instead of hammering that shot across the face of goal.
Egypt getting ready for another set of changes. As two more players will be exiting. Number 19, Ataya, also has been slightly impressive, is off. While Mahmoud Sabar, the goal scorer for Egypt, the first goal, has also come off. As Egypt will attempt to see off this game with a win. Gives them momentum, confidence, going to Morocco as they travel tomorrow. But the Super Eagles lacking inspiration, lacking creativity. And if a Nigerian football fan will be worried right now about what could happen, especially when you face quality opposition.
Yeah, because there's no creative spark in terms of creating chances for goals, trying to have goal attempts. Defending has not been top-notch. It's been neither here nor there. So it leaves a lot of worry for so many Nigerian fans watching at this point in time. What the hopes will be for them in terms of supporting the Super Eagles at this AFCON. I have not seen that excellent play from the Super Eagles so far in this match. Yes, there's been the flashes of individual brilliance, but apart from that, it's nothing to write home about.
Timi not impressed with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Larson, one of the new entrants, has been fouled. Egypt on the attack once again. A lovely pass towards the path of Mawson. Salah Mawson almost gets in there, but Chukwunadi quickly gets there, and Avat's danger is out for a corner kick. Egypt to the corner right now with 84 minutes on the clock. Amaso Basoge trying to organize his back line. Egypt take it quickly. Nigeria also have had clear the danger to Chukwunadi. Super Eagles will try to build from the back. Franco Yeka sends a long one towards Cyril Desses. Nigeria on the attack here. But Egypt quickly regroup. And you could see that despite leading, they're committed to defending.
Yep.
They're back in their 6s and 7s, keeping their shape. And they win a throw in. And it's one of the new entrants as well, who's now the captain, who's taking the captain armband. Just putting the work in there. Egypt looking to see out this victory. Another new face about to come on for Nigeria. And it's Salim Fago, I believe.
Yep.
Number 25, that's what is dawning for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Plays his football in Croatia with Istra 9061, scored over the last weekend. Salim Fago Lawal, one of the names that divided the opinion. Oh, that's a massive error from the Nigerian defense as Egypt to try to capitalize. And they do. And they make it 3-1, but looks like that opportunity is gone as Nigeria will try to make something happen on the break. Fisal Delibashiru gets it to Ademola Lukman. Lukman to Chukwunadi. Salim Fago asking for the ball on the right-hand side of attack. It's a centre forward, but has been told to play from the right here. And he has the ball. His first touch of the ball. Oh, but that's has not gone well because his pass has been intercepted. Now for a throw-in. What else do we know about Salim Fago, Timi?
Well, he played for the under-20 team 2 years ago in Argentina under Ladan Boso. Scored one of the goals in that tournament. Since then, he's been trying his best to do for his club what his duty is, scoring goals. Like you mentioned, he scored over the weekend. I think he has about
6 goals.
6 goals this season for his Croatian club. But apart from that, I don't think he's done anything much of a reckoning for us to be expecting a wonderful performance from him at the AFCON. But in all of this, I don't know if he's going to get into the final 24-man squad for Eric Shell.
So it appears that the Super Eagles have got 3 centre forwards on the pitch right now to wrap up the game. Paulo Noachu, Cyril Desses, and Salim Fago.
Not forgetting Ademola Lukman.
If you do regard him as a centre forward, but free kick to Nigeria. But it's all cleared by Egypt. We will try to keep the ball out for a throw in. Egypt win the throw. Good outlet for Egypt, the captain. That's common. That's Tekata. Oh, sorry, Lashin. Lashin plays his football with Pyramids, who are champions of the CAF Champions League, and also in the group that has got Rivers United as well. And they beat Rivers United in Uyo a couple of weeks ago. Dramatic win. Left it very, very late. I thought Rivers had won the game until I checked my live score app and I saw 2-1.
He was surprising. Scoring 9-minute goals. 9-minute goals. Mistake from the goalkeeper also. Them that winning goal. Talking about Ares Bekani getting that win in Uyo. But hey, we all knew it was going to be very difficult for Rivers United in that group where they have the likes of Pyramids.
Pyramids actually beat them in Cairo 3-0. Yeah, it was Ares Bekani. Yeah.
So it wasn't surprising that they lost, but it was surprising. What was surprising was the fact that they conceded 2 late goals in that game against the Moroccan club.
So all the Super Eagles bench is looking all doom and gloom. The Egyptian bench looking well chilled. Just saw Trezeguet of the players who were supposed to be involved, but had to pull out due to a dental procedure. But so definitely will play a key part at the AFCON. Salim Fago now on the right-hand side. It's looking lively. Trying to push Egypt back, but all of his troubles is out for a throw-in. Maybe desperate to impress.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what he's trying to do, because I don't know what you could have done better there. Just give your simple pass to your nearest man.
But the Super Eagles look like they'll be wrapping up this game on top. They've had the lion's share of the ball, but can they really make it happen? Salim Fago once again unable to beat his man. It's out for a throw-in. Super Eagles will come again through to Chukwunadi. Was also, yes, looked
solid.
Very good with the ball. Also has been winning the ball. Salim Fago once again on the right side. Sends across. Sends no one. But Mel Shinawi will make no mistakes this time round, as he claims it. But that was a very good delivery from Salim Fago Lawal.
I think Shobia is in goal now for Egypt.
Oh, sorry, it's Shobi. Shinawi went off the other time. But that was a good claim from the Egyptian second choice.
But it was also a delivery into the 6-yard box.
Yeah.
Salim Fago. I have to give him credit for that, even though I've been on his neck ever since I saw his name on the Eagles list. But Hossein Hassan still screaming, shouting for his players to get that ball out of their 18-yard box. And still making sure that his team are fully concentrated on this game.
My big worry is Super Eagles' inability to create chances.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've not created anything of note.
Nothing at all.
Yeah. For all 90 minutes, I've been able to really put together a good body of work. You know, try to, make combined passes, split the Egyptian defense open, either through the flanks or maybe, from the central areas.
And that's the worry I have ever since we saw it at the playoffs against DR Congo. Immediately, Victor Osimhen left the pitch of play. Creativity dropped, our sense of urgency dropped. There was no play pattern in terms of how we wanted to get goals in that second half against DR Congo. And I think that's the same problem we're having here in this game against Egypt, where we've lacked creativity, where we've lacked ideas in terms of trying to get goals, trying to score goals. And I think going into this tournament, it's going to be a big worry for Nigeria if they face teams with low blocks, like the Egyptians have played so far in this game. Very compact in terms of not having the ball, very defensive, playing low blocks when they need to, going up when they need to, countering Nigeria's offensive play every now and then. So it's a big worry that our creative play has been zero in this match. I would have expected more, but then let's see how it goes. Maybe Eric Chell needed this match to see truly that he needs to get in some very good creative players into his starting 11. Anytime he gets a game at the AFCON.
5 minutes added on, and of that 5, 2 already gone. Super Eagles trying to make a late charge. This is still an equalizer, but Egypt very much comfortable in defending. Ball out for a throw-in. Nigeria will take quickly through Semi Ajayi. Then see Alexi Wobi looking chilled. He will definitely be one of the players that will be counting on as the AFCON starts Sunday. That's Bright Osai Samuel once again with a very poor pass towards Fisaudi Libashiru. He's having a nightmarish game right back. Like Timi has said, is one that Medic Chell will be counting on, especially on the right side of defense. But this game against Egypt is not covered himself in glory.
It's been very disappointing. Every game I've watched him for the Super Eagles, he's always having some very disappointing moments. But in this game, he's been having so many moments of disappointing episodes, and I begin to wonder why he was even invited in the first place. Birmingham City is not a regular starter. He's not been regular for them in recent times, by the way. But let's just hope that things click well for the Super Eagles.
People will probably even tell you that they never need to play at Birmingham City. And Neen right there at Fenerbahce.
Yeah, he's moved since.
Yeah. So unable to get game time right there in the championship. But hey, I mean, 13 matches, not a bad number to have in the second division in England. No goals, no assists.
Yeah, I would have wanted to see maybe Rayan Alebiosu. So a new invitee to the Super Eagles.
Yeah, from Blackburn Rovers.
But, hey, I don't know why he's playing this bright side, someone who has not been bright in this game. I would have expected that maybe Rayan Alebiosu play some part in this game.
I mean, to be very honest, I think on the defensive side, Bright Osai Samuel has been alert to danger. He's gone into the tackles really well. He's been physical. But on the other side, where it's required to, turn up with the attack, he's tried to also send those crosses. It's been really lacking.
He's been lacking.
It's been lacking. Right, looks like Egypt will see off this win. Polonarcho pulled down there. Started the game really brightly, but seemed to have faded off due to lack of service as the Nigerian bench. You can see Daniel Ogumodede, the Remo Stars manager, asking for a free kick, and Nigeria do get it. This could be the last big moment of the game. Bruno Emechi is going to take this one as we approach the dying moments of this game. Sends it in, but that's another poor effort. We will need to really improve with our set plays.
Really need to improve because the delivery into the box has been very wayward. It's not been top-notch. It's not been top-notch, and I think it's a worry for us that we're not even using our set pieces to get goals against our opponents.
Egypt on the prowl here. We'll probably just add one more. And it's a shot that slowly waltzed Sam out of play. That will not trouble Amaso Basoge, but the referee has signaled for the end of the game. It's ended at the Cairo International Stadium. Egypt will lead them to Morocco off the back of a morale-boosting 2-1 win over the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And for the Super Eagles, Eric Chell will be disappointed that his experimental squad have not been able to deliver a result that delivers a lot of confidence going into the opening game next week Tuesday against the Taifa Stars of Tanzania and the 35th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations. It's ended Egypt 2, Nigeria 1 to me.
Well, it's been a performance of neither here nor there for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I was expecting more, especially from the new players who had the opportunity to don the jersey for the national team. Not much from Akin Samiro in the first half. I didn't see much of anything coming from Chidera Ejuke, who also played the part in that first half, even though he was live in the first a few minutes of that first half. The second half came alive. I think we started very well with the entrance of Ademola Lookman and the rest of the players, Cyril Desas. And you keep wondering why he played Cyril Desas and Paul Onuachu, because there was no chemistry between those two players. In the second half, I didn't see it. Like we mentioned, also creativity in terms of midfield creativity, we didn't see that. But I must give kudos also to Tochukwu Nadi, who had some form of energy, busting energy in terms of defending, in terms of attacking, in terms of holding onto the ball, and trying to also play some long passes from that midfield. I would say I was also disappointed with the Club Brugge man, Rafael Onyedika, and you begin to wonder every now and then we clamor for this player to come into the Super Eagles, but in the first half we didn't see much of him. We don't see him getting a grasp of the game in that midfield. Maybe you want to say he's not a creative player, but then he's a player who we've seen do some creative play at Club Brugge. Well, having said all of this, Olali, it's an experimental game. It's a game where Eric Shell needed to see some of his players, some of the new players. We saw Salim Fago. I think he's doing so much. Youthful exuberance, tried to do some step overs, and the rest of it not needed at that point in time. But having said all of this, I feel it's still a chance for Eric Chell to see that, okay, these are the things I can work with. But what I want to see going forward is how we'll be able to score goals against low block teams. I think that's a worry for me because...
But is there confidence that, despite what you've seen today, maybe not too impressive, is there confidence from you that come next week Tuesday, whatever we present in that game will be impressive in terms of the body of work, in terms of the performance?
Yeah.
Are you confident that we will be better than tonight, next week?
Yeah, I expect that because, like it or not, I'm also putting into consideration that these players came in yesterday. Most of them, even some of them, came in this morning, and so they are playing a match after just maybe a few hours of rest.
Yeah,
so
and just one training
session, jet lag, one training session, and the rest of it, and also not having Victor Osimhen in this squad also tells a lot. So I think against Tanzania, they will be better prepared. We'll have better opportunities to score goals. I think we'll have creative players there. Alex Iwobi will definitely start. Demola Lukman definitely will start. Uh, I expect a better performance against the Taifa Stars of Tanzania, and I hope that we can be able to score plenty goals in that game because I need us to start creating chances and at least scoring those chances that we create, especially when we play against low block team. But in this game, it's been a test of some of the new players, and I think apart from Usman Mohammed, every other new player that was invited
got a look in.
In this game.
All right, it's ended 2-1. Whatever you make of that, yeah, make sure we continue that conversation on all our social media platforms, and you'll be getting all the updates you need as far as the AFCON is concerned. But it's ended at the Cairo International Stadium. Egypt 2 Nigeria 1. Egypt with Mahmoud Saber and Mohamed with the goals, and Chidozie Awazim got us back into it. But earlier in the second half, Mustafa Mohamed got what went on to become the winner for the Pharaohs of Egypt. And don't forget to keep on subscribing to our channel. It's vivxsports. We will be back for the AFCON proper from Sunday. Our team, interestingly, I think we're both back for the opening AFCON game in Morocco. It's the host against Comoros, and we will be taking you through that game, me alongside Timi for that. So make sure you keep it a day with us on Sunday right here on our channel VIVX Sports. To everyone who joined us, thank you very much for watching this watch along, and to our production team, thank you very much as well. The very best of African football resides right here on VIVX Sports. Don't miss that for anything. It's Africa's football fiesta kicking off on Sunday, and we will be here for all of that. Timi, thanks for coming through.
Always a pleasure, Lali.
All right, guys, do enjoy the rest of the night. And if you just joined in, you've missed much, but hey, you can catch all of the action later on our channel as Egypt defeated Nigeria 2-1. Till we come your way again on Sunday, stay safe and keep supporting the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We'll see you very soon. Good night.